passion. Pick apart the passion. 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 Pick apart the passion. 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 Pick apart the passion. Passion. Pick apart the passion.
All right, welcome to the Pick Apart the Passion podcast. My name is RamBunxious. With me today, I have my man Denku. I have my man Evaridae. I have my man Brad, the producer, engineer extraordinaire. And today we have another special episode. Last week we had my man Denku on here. We decided to go ahead and bring him as a host. And now, today, we have Madison's own, by way of Watts, California, Boys and Girls Club Award recipient, which we will get to later. Incredible album that just came out not long ago that I bumped probably 3 times a day. I think I bumped it yesterday too. Man, I'm not even going to just sit here and keep describing him. K.Sankofa, if you're from the Madison area, if you're from Watts, you probably know him. He's here in the building. Give it up, everybody, for K.Sankofa in the building today. We're going to break down his album, Parrhesia. Is that the correct Parrhesia?
That was correct, Parrhesia.
All right. I fucked it up in the voice, in the message when we were talking. but yeah, so we're going to get into this album. So first, I guess we should get into what does the title of the album mean and why did you name it that? Let's start off with that.
Definitely. So Parrhesia is a name or a word that I actually learned at UW. So in undergrad, I was taking this class. It was like Com Arts, like either 300 or 400. Okay. And it was about the great speakers is what it was called. And so what we did was we actually studied speeches and we studied people who would speak throughout history, whether that was in America with people like Dr. King or JFK or Lincoln, given something like 407 years ago, right. Or all the way back to the days in ancient Greece, where you had a lot of political antics of trying to actually have an even flow of knowledge and power within that, which, as we know, in most democratic states, you don't usually have. And so Parrhesia came as a result of there being a group of people who were informed and a group of people who weren't informed. So back in those times in ancient Greece, we learned that people actually, there was a lot of people who could or could not read. And so you could read, you had the knowledge, and you had power, and you had some other things that would go along with that. And that would be very helpful in informing a democracy in which people are voting. Maybe not necessarily voting for every issue. Maybe there's a representative democracy where they're voting for representatives in the parliament or whatever. Right. But you had people who would literally stand out on the street corners in front of the government buildings or in front of the parliamentary building or in front of the judicial building and actually just be spitting truth. And so It literally translates speaking truth to power or freedom of speech or to speak with candor and to almost say, well, you're going to have to forgive me because I'm going to just say it how I feel it. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I mean. And so
I love that. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I love that. To me, and maybe when you talk about the ancient Greece times and how it translates to today, for me, right away in my mind, I just thought that's rappers. You know what I'm saying? That's us. You know what I'm saying? We speaking our truth. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful. That's why I love that title. I'm glad you explained it the way you did. Anybody else got a question about that or something to say?
No, I love that title, man. It's the first time I've ever seen that word. I think you, same. I saw you at one of our Rhyme and Reasons. You had explained the definition there, and that was probably the first time I ever heard the word. I was like, wow, that's a dope word, and it's very cool. It's very cool to see a young rapper, doing something like that. Like you have to look. Most people are gonna have to look up that word, you know. Right. So.
And that was one thing that I thought was like, you know, in my head I was balancing back and forth because my little brother rapped too, and I was showing him concept, and he was like, so what is the title of the project? And I said Parrhesia. He was like, oh, what's that? He was interested, and then I told him what it meant. I said it means speak truth to power. And he was like, well, why don't you just name it Truth to Power? And I was like, I could do that. But I also like the interesting history behind it. The fact that when you hear it, you ain't gonna know what it means. So you kind of gotta go look it up if you're interested or not. So I like that. Whereas this speak truth to power is just something in your face, which is what Parrhesia is. It's kind of in your face, but for it to be something that I'm putting in your face, but you still don't even know, you kind of gotta go search it out for yourself. Is what I kind of like that.
Yeah. That's dope. That's super dope. All right. Well, anybody else?
Well, I was gonna say, is that the 5%ers that you're talking about too? The 5% thing with knowledge, like 5% of the population.
It's not the same definition, though.
Oh, it's not the same thing.
Right. Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'm about to say that. Not from. I don't really know too much about the 5%er theology or whatever it is, or philosophy.
Yeah.
I don't really know too much about it, but just kind of like in a general sense of like, back then, like people really couldn't read, so they weren't able to hold knowledge. So the people who was disseminating that knowledge were the people out on the street corners practicing what they would call in that day Parrhesia.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess in a sense, what you're saying, Brad, is it does fall on the same lines. You do have in different inner cities and stuff, or bigger cities, let's say, really, you do have Nation Islam cats that do that. They are on the corner preaching their message, selling the papers, and so and Malcolm X was very much that with the podium. So yeah, in a sense, they do follow that same guideline, but it isn't like an ideology that, you know what I mean, that he's talking about that falls in line with the same thing.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Denku.
I mean, I think that's truly the most in-depth title for an album that I've heard in a minute, to be honest. Like, it's dope. It's really dope. I mean, I'm excited to get into the project and talk more about it. I know we were all listening to it. It's a great album, and it's definitely a great title for the album itself. It definitely, helps the vision of the album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
What's up?
All right, well, we can get into it. Whenever you want to play the first track, we can get into it. The album's named Parrhesia. This is K.Sankofa if you just joining in. And
I'm going to press play right now. So this is the intro track. This track is called The Question.
Okay.
Y'all can hear it. I need to turn it up, or that's straight.
Oh, hold on.
Won't you sit back one time and listen? Hey now.
That's straight, up, down.
I know you know the war, I know you know about the bourgeois. I know you know the features of the future. That's what the perspective of the people will do to ya. I know you know the reason why government wanna shoot ya, what the powers that be wanna do to ya. And to me, truly they wanna switch a position like Kama Sutra. Bend it so you see less of the wisdom of Martin Luther, a vision of Huey Newton, creative as George Lucas, the hustler Frank Lucas, and kicking knowledge like Bruce Lee, fused with Carl Lucas, avoiding evils of Lucy, embodying words of Tupac while spitting rap so profusely. Ooh-wee, another west side nigga popping off. If you ain't breathing to this beat, within your lungs it's probably softer. The race is not for the swift, but rather the pure at heart. I'm running past you as I try to catch up to your favorite star. I see real rap got the coast back on top, while other rappers looking like ghosts in hip-hop. Some of it thought-provoking, but most of it not. That's why K-Dot consulted the ghost of Tupac. I'm hoping they don't get you, I'm guessing they might try. But I can't take no chances, got these questions that I'm asking and I'm sending in advance, cause I expect I need answers while I'm alive. I need answers while I'm alive. Hey. Welcome to Parrhesia. Hopefully, we take your spirit and we feed you. So hop aboard the ride and let this mind ease you. And salute to freedom.
You fading that down? Okay.
Yes, sir. Let me pause
Tight.
So that track was called, again, The Question, correct?
That track was called The Question. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, man, I first of all, I think the mellowness of the intro is dope. I think lyrically you bring people into exactly what you're about to talk about. I really like that intro. It really pulled me in personally when I first started listening. Why don't you talk about what was the objective of that track, maybe?
Man, so low key, when I first was coming up with just kind of the structure of the tape, I was just looking through a bunch of different beats. I had some rhymes that I was considering already putting on the tape, some things that I had written already from some years ago, as well as some things that I was like constructing currently in the moment. And like low key, when I first wrote that song, like if you catch most of the references, like I'm not just talking to like the people. I feel like I'm also talking to, I think that's why it's interesting that you said like it's a concept for rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like
sure, yeah.
The idea of Parrhesia, standing out and speaking your truth, especially in the midst of like government failure and things that we see as ills in society. So I felt like I was kind of talking to some of my favorite rappers, more particularly at that time. I wrote that some time ago. I was like, kind of like if I was going to write a message to somebody who I think is doing an active job of Parrhesia today, I was talking to Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of references, you know what I'm saying? And I actually think I like referenced that, but like those were kind of the ideas behind those lyrics, like, you know what I'm saying? Taking the thought of you know, a person who is standing at a high stature, speaking truth to power, and then coming at it and hitting it with my own way. And so the idea was, I got these questions, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it comes to the culmination of that at the end. I can't take, I got these questions that I'm asking and I'm sending in advance because I expect I need answers while I'm alive. You know what I'm saying? And that's to the people who are speaking Parrhesia, and that's also to the systems, and that's also to the people who, you know what I'm saying, are listening, the people for whom which Parrhesia is necessary. Right. So it's starting off, I know you know the war, I know you know about the bourgeois, I know you know the features of the future. That's what the perspective of the people will do to you. That's to and from the people, but that's also like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I was rapping to rappers and to people who are speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or not speaking the truth, right? I mean, like, you know,
not speaking the truth, right? I feel like there's some of it in there for all of for everybody. You know what I'm saying? As far as those we are concerned, the people who are not speaking the truth and the people who are speaking the truth. I feel like that's kind of those are the center focal points.
I love it. All right.
I really don't get a chance to hear bourgeois in hip hop very often.
Right.
I like.
He didn't even say bougie; he said bourgeois.
I've heard bougie times, but like bourgeois was just like another
different, right?
Referring to like the bourgeoisie. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Which is like, you know, on some manifesto type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, you know, but it's like that's even deeper. You know what I'm saying? And I think like, you know, maybe a lot of the people who will listen won't even really, you know what I'm saying, know what that's about. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like there's a perspective of the people that I feel like is automatically coinciding in this idea or this reality of what a bourgeoisie is. Like the perspective of the people understand what that is in a sense, but maybe not with that terminology.
Right.
Like that terminology is potentially directed at, you know what I'm saying, those of us who are speaking at Parrhesia, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, but it's, you know, I feel like it's all of these different lines and codes throughout it that speak to different people differently. Yeah. And I like what you said about it being chill and laid back. After we like went through the beats and listened to the beats, like I was listening to this beat and like, I feel like very quickly I knew that this one was going to have to be the intro. And what I almost thought about doing was making this a score throughout the entire tape, like bringing it back in and doing a skit.
That's interesting. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And then bringing it in.
That could have worked.
I think it would have worked, but
save that for another record and do that another time.
Save it for a different project. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna save that idea to do it like that for something because I can get another feel like that with the producers that I've been working with. But it was an idea and a thought that I was really flirting with, you know. And part of me like is like I wish I would have did it, but I feel like it's cohesive the way it is.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
With the idea of Parrhesia, I kind of wanted it to be that way. I wanted it to be like, it's succinct. I'm hitting you with what I need to hit you with. Less about the art, and less about the music, even though very much I wanted to make it a message. But it's more about the message. It's more about what I'm trying to say, which you know doesn't require the theatrics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. I think it comes across on the record exactly what you're explaining it as comes across on the record. Can we get into the second song? Anybody else?
Yeah.
We'll get into the second song.
Hell yeah, man. I love this fucking album.
All right. Second song is called State of Emergency.
State of Emergency.
Wait, this is one of my favorite ones right here.
State of Emergency. Coronavirus. Shit is really real.
Now all my people elevate, motivate, show love and never hate. When it's time to tell your story, just make sure you say it straight. They say no guts, no glory, please support me on this journey, cause my vision distorted since I've been sorting through the fake. So pardon my dismay, if you raise your name, I can see we in a state of emergency emergency, so I ain't got no time to really waste. I'm tired of all the games, no, I ain't got time for play. Been wondering if life has been determined by a fate. If it is, then it can't make no sense to complain about the kids who grow up in these systems of hate that are meant to condition the mental to break us to end in the ditch or be locked in the cage where we live our whole life trying to find an escape. Wait, I know they ain't gotta be the case, but if we ain't got a movement for the union of the rest of the humans who committed to fighting into the dead, that they reach into their pockets and they realize they only got $1 and a dream, but they feel like they're closer to the promise of a king who would take all their dollars and divide them in the streams of the silver and gold in the shape of a face. But if we flip the coin, we'll still get a tail. It don't matter how we spin, we'll never get ahead. Only metal to the face is a bullet to the head, and it's coming from the state. So we running from the Fed. They don't wanna educate, they just wanna see us dead. Better yet, they wanna give us felony instead, so the mass incarceration can be slavery again. Lil' homie locked up, 14 years old. Gave a nigga life, but they took away his soul. He was only just a kid, but they tried to mass it up. But when George Zimmerman kill a kid, he gets to go. When the cop who killed Tony Robinson got to go. Free, but it's niggas losing freedom on the low. Key for possession of the green niggas smoke. I know.
Can you turn it up?
I seen the depth of ignorance and it's deep, nigga. In Wisconsin, we politicking with sleep niggas. Gotta get them up by the governor's seat, nigga. If I run this Scott Walker versus a street nigga, I can see the world we live in. I know the clock is ticking, I know we can make a difference. Politics of independence, love is the root religion. Life can be a new beginning, but please hurry, cause this is a state of emergency. This is a state of emergency. This is a state of emergency. So hurry, please, emergency in the state. Got a nigga worried, the urgency couldn't wait. System going to hell, it's burning up in the flame. Toss the pennies in the wishing well before it's too late. Just like a toll lane, homie, if you make change, you can find a better way. Make it rain, precipitate, till you see the grass is greener in the garden where you stay. And the fruits of your labor way sweeter, they eat off your plate. Oh, that'll be the day. Till then, please break, freeze frame, don't wait no more. It's time to fight and pray. Oh Lord, I know that I could die today. I pray I never ever die in faith. My words keep working till I even up the stakes. In the legacy of Nate, we let the people regulate.
Yeah. Woo. I like that one. That's one of my favorite ones, man. To me, that song is very much summed up state of emergency being I hope I don't mess up the line. You said I'm gonna mess up the line. Something if they don't educate, what's the line? You said something. I don't know.
Of emergency, so I ain't got no time to really waste. I'm tired of all the games. No, I ain't got time for play. Been wondering if life has been determined by a fate. If it is, then it can't make no sense to complain about the kids who grow up in these systems of hate that are meant to condition the mental to break us to end in a ditch or be locked in a cage where we live our whole life trying to find an escape.
Yeah. I just wanted people to hear exactly what you said again. Yo, that's fire, man. The words were very pertinent to the title is what I'm trying to say. And you really like explored what the state of emergency really is. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love about that track. And the beat is just banging. You wrote it. You know what I'm saying? Like you just flowed on, you know what I mean? The beat is that's all I got to say about that track. I just love it, man. I like that track a lot. But anybody else?
Well, did you have any like thoughts of like about what was happening like today and everything, seeing as it like came out in 2020? Was Corona on the mind at all with the state of emergency, or was it something you wrote?
Crazy enough, so I actually dropped this track in 2018.
Oh wow! Okay.
So it was like maybe a little over a year, maybe a year and a couple months, because I dropped it in concordance with the Scott Walker election. Right.
Right.
There's a line where I say,
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
With sleep niggas, gotta get them up out of governor's seat, nigga. If I run in this Walker versus a street nigga, I can see the world we live in. You know what I'm saying? So I was literally talking about the Evers versus Walker campaign, and I have original recording of this song where I said, November 6th, everybody vote Tony Evers and Mandela Barnes. And so I ended up taking that one off because I ended up shrinking it to just November 3rd. Everybody vote. The crazy thing, when I first recorded the song, I thought the Evers election was for November 3rd. So I messed up. And I re-recorded it saying November 6th. But then when I was trying to figure out how to switch it for the tape to be the one where I wasn't saying November 6th because that election is no longer relevant, I was looking through the old tracks and I said, I already said November 3rd. In 2020, the presidential election is November 3rd.
That's why
Ended up turning out being okay that I had made that first initial mistake. Otherwise, we would have just had to just clip off the end of that track and just let it end with the song, which would have been easy enough. But
that's dope.
Like, but yeah.
Hey, nice.
But to answer the question, I just think that it's actually, quite, interesting that, I think Wisconsin has always been in a state of emergency in terms of how the race to equity is with Black people in education and the criminal justice system. We lock up twice the national average. We incarcerate twice the national average of Black people here. We fail our students at a very high and alarming rate, even compared to the rest of the country, where our Black kids are performing at 21% to our white kids here. You know what I'm saying? Which is, something that I work in the school, so I see it firsthand as well. But it's like, to me, it was just in terms of Scott Walker, voter suppression, education, the criminal justice system here. But then when you look at it with the corona, which is a quite literal sense in which we've engaged in a state of emergency, we see even Wisconsin's responses as more evidence for why it's such a state of emergency here. Continuing the election on the 7th instead of making it strictly mail-in ballot and prolonged. Opening up as of last Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Where you got people at bars disregarding all of the rules for social distancing and isolation. So it's like, not only was I saying what I was saying about those systemic things, really a state of emergency, but now even in the midst of the corona, we see the response of those systemic entities, the people who are at the top.
It's becoming economic.
It's even more.
They're realizing that the same things we've done to Black people, Native Americans, Mexican, all these Muslim, all these people, they're realizing the things that they've done they worked, and so now they're just doing it on everybody at this point. In all honesty, that's my opinion. We're not gonna get too much on that. I just realized I was about to go in a whole nother basket of tricks. Right. I just said basket of tricks. Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Good job.
Anything else before we get into the third track?
I was just gonna, reiterate. Yeah, Wisconsin's got some really backwards shit going on here, and it was great to hear that you mentioned Tony Robinson. That's like when I perked up for a second, because I was like, I didn't know when I was listening to you that you were from the area. So like that's the first indication. It's like, oh, he's from here. But yeah, it's good. It's good to hear that.
Well, let's get into that. You're not from here, correct?
I'm not originally from.
Talk about that.
But I've been here for a cool minute. So it's like, the title is from Rome, Parrhesia. So when in Rome, but at the end of the day, like I'm from LA. I'm from South Central Watts, California.
From Watts, right?
Yeah, I came out here from for UW to go to UW because I got a scholarship, and so I've been out here since 2012. So it's been 8 years now. So it's like
very interesting time to come out here too. That's when it was just turning red.
Yeah.
Very much so. I've been here since 2004, and I can explain those 8 years, 04 to 012 or 04 to 12 were different. It was different. That switch was real evident if you were living here.
And think about that in context. I wasn't here. Only relevance to Wisconsin for me before that was Russell Wilson and That 70s Show and Green Bay Packers and maybe the Bucks. You know what I'm saying?
You're like dumbass.
You know what I'm saying? I knew it was supposed to be cold, but I didn't really know anything about the political spectrum. I didn't know nothing about it being a blue state turning red or nothing. I didn't know that the Republican Party was founded here, and this is a very, very heavily rooted political state.
I didn't know that part. I didn't know the Republican Party was founded here.
Back when it was a revolutionary party. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so it wasn't the Republican Party, it was the reverse Republican Party that is now the Democrat Party, really.
Right. And the Democrat Party ain't even really, you know what I'm saying?
Right, it's all fucked up. It's all one party, really, if you really get down to it. It's all a party of they having a party and we ain't. That's what the fuck it is, really.
Right.
Anyway. Anyway.
But also go into something that you were saying, like as far as taking things from what actually is going on here, like the Tony Robinson thing.
Yeah.
Most of all of what I mentioned is from Wisconsin politics or Wisconsin law. Like when I say gave a nigga life, but they took away his soul. He was only just a kid, but they tried him as a adult. What it says something 14 years old. Little homie locked up 14 years old, gave a nigga life, but they took away his soul. Like Wisconsin is one of the few states that tries children as adults. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So places here and then some places in the deep south.
However, the little girl that was 12 years old and killed them 2 kids over that game, she didn't get that. She got mental hospital.
Exactly. And it's always going to be some sort of racial leaning. You know what I'm saying? They taking all these factors, and you're going to see the racial bias in these cases. But like, just for the simple fact that you are able to try a child as an adult, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can give a kid life with no chance to rehabilitate, with no chance to grow.
It goes back to Dave Chappelle. How old is 15 really? You know,
rest and pressure and stress, and now he doesn't have a chance to, live up to some potential. That's messed up. You know what I'm saying? So all of those things I mentioned, happen right here. You know what I'm saying?
You highlighted it bar for bar, like literally. That's also what's one thing about this album that I noticed is you didn't waste any lines. You say, I'm saying, not a line is wasted. You're saying exactly what the fuck you need to say every song, and it's very detailed. It's very graphic. It's very, you know what I'm saying? It's you can picture what you're saying. You know, we've all lived it. We see it. It's one thing I like about it. But let's speed this up, man. We can sit here and talk about the politics of it all day. That might take too long, and I hate that because I would love to just sit here for 4 hours and do this. But let's get into track 3.
Podcast.
Right, which is coming. It's called Past Time. You want to talk about it before, or you want to play it and talk about it after?
Sure, I kind of want to just play it because I feel like it's even more relevant right now.
Play it. Let's go.
It's loaded.
I might grab a beer real quick, y'all. Sorry. Actually, we have me a beer.
The times are flying, passing by, the days are numbered, counting by, the time is coming, half the time, the clock is ticking, overtime, and half the time, I don't even have the time. Oh yeah, around the way, just past the pasture, I met a man who asked me why we even try. Oh Lord, hey, ooh. 'Cause God is my witness, here I stand in the light. In the physical I'm peaceful, but the word comes to fight. 'Cause my warfare is spiritual, so I ain't never scared. You say that you gon' kill me, I'ma tell you bow your head. 'Cause I'm praying for your heart and your mind to get right. Your message stay the same, leave sold your soul tonight. Oh, 'cause I know it's niggas shooting over blues over reds. The family feeling blue and the blood spilling red. Just as scribbled as the system that we loot from the Fed. With the symbol of the blue and the white with the red. Yeah, them boys in the blue. When the verdict was red, only color that I knew. The black on my skin, that's the black that's within. Like the black in my pen that I used to ink words to make black rise again. 'Cause the image of a black boy blacking out again are the bullets of a black gun blasted by a man. The same black culture, black people, black kin is as blind as a bat in a black hole of sin. And I violently resist, but by any means defense. So if you fuck with the oppressed, then you really just a bitch. 'Cause God is my witness, here I stand in the light. In the physical I'm peaceful, but the word comes to fight. 'Cause my warfare is spiritual, so I ain't never scared. If you say that you gon' kill me, I'ma tell you bow your head. 'Cause I'm praying for your heart and your mind to get right. So the message stay the same, then you sold your soul tonight. The times are flying, passing by, the days are numbered, counting by, the time is coming, half the time, clock is ticking, overtime, half the time, I don't even have the time. The times are flying, passing by, the days are numbered, counting by, the time is coming, half the time, the clock is ticking, overtime, and half the time, I don't even have the time. Oh yeah.
Good shit.
Around the way, just past the pasture, I met a man who asked me why.
Oh, did you stop it?
Even try.
My fault. I thought you did. I couldn't tell. My fault. I thought you already stopped.
I just stopped.
So one thing about that song I wanted to ask personally, and don't take offense to this if you don't fuck with this dude, but I feel like after I heard that song, I'm like, this dude has some Wyclef influence. Do you have some Wyclef influence? Because I love Wyclef, and I think I do and don't realize it sometimes. I mean, it's very minute with me, but
I would have to say it would be, unrealized. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily intentionally, but right. I definitely, you know what I'm saying, fuck with the Fugees, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
That's like my, that's I rock with that. Like anytime I get something like that, it's like, whether it's something that I know there's people who I've intentionally tried to rap like or sing.
Oh yeah, everybody's done that at some point, right.
But
in some way.
I wouldn't say Wyclef I ever intentionally did.
Right.
But that's a comparison that I'm getting a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Or like that type of comparison, even so.
Well, I'll be real with you. Me and Denku were talking earlier after listening to the album, and he said it was a Mos Def and Akon, Mos Def mixed with Akon type thing, and I was like, that's crazy because I thought like a Mos Def mixed with Wyclef, which to me, when people start doing that with artists and mixing them to describe somebody else, it's all bullshit. Because really, what it is that you just sound like yourself, and we try to find a way to place it. And I understand that as an artist. So I don't mean that's why I say I don't mean offense by saying that, but
I don't resent
it's interesting though.
I don't resent it, and I like those guys. Mos Def,
I like them all. Yeah.
Akon was one of my favorite artists at one point. So
I didn't like him at first, to be honest, but he grew on me real quick. It took a minute, but he grew on me.
I don't know, it's more catchy and like, I don't know. I feel like I always felt Akon. Like, so when I hear that, I'm like, I'll take it.
That's a compliment. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey, is there live instrumentation on this album anywhere?
That was one of my next questions.
Because this song right here, when I first heard it, it could be a sample, but it stood out so much that I thought that maybe you had the producer do some live instrumentation for this particular beat.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of time to speak about Reginald Tedford, also known as Joe Black. That's one of my producers who I work with, man. Shout out to that.
What was that? What was it? What Black?
Reginald Tedford. Jewel Black is his producer.
Okay.
Yeah. Jewel Black. Jewel, like as in jewel, is in diamonds.
Okay. Yeah.
And he plays the piano, the bass, and the drums. So literally, for a good amount of these beats, those piano chords you hear, he's playing those. The bass chord you hear, he's playing that.
Yeah, there's a distant crispness.
And that's why it's so crispy. That's why it also feels live. The intro track.
Yeah. What about that horn on that last one? Is that a sample?
Sample. The horn is a sample.
Ooh, I was hoping it wasn't, but it's so nasty.
That's what I thought. It was so there. Like I was like, yo, that shit is.
No, that ain't a sample. Who is that, right?
Right. We need to know.
Yeah.
No, but it's clear. But you know what's good though is that y'all made the sample sound like the live, right? So if we can't tell, and as artists and producers, we can't tell. Beautiful.
He did a great job of it. Complemented it. It complemented the live elements he already brought. And so when you could do that, and then it just feels like a live production, then that's you hitting the mark still.
Did he do the whole album?
He did. He executive produced the album. He did a majority. He did about 80% of the songs on the album.
Cool.
Okay. Nice.
Right.
Those first three beats were him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this fourth track is Super Bowl Freestyle. You want to talk about that? Just to give a little intro right quick.
Man, so peep game.
A short intro.
It's a lot of songs. It's a lot of songs that weren't. I'll do it like this. There's a lot of songs that were not necessarily written to be on this tape. I wrote this to be.
They just fit.
It fit. I wrote it to be a live acapella version of something that I did at a show, a rendition at a show. And it went so well that the homie made a beat, and it was a perfect beat for it. I tried it out. It worked, and it turned into this.
Run it. I love it.
I'm trying to find my way in the world, I'm trying to be somebody instead of just make money off everybody. If there's something on my mind, speak it. I think being humble is sexy. I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion, but can you just keep it to one house? And that's our job. It's the spark. I just quit my job today, actually, because I wanted to come and do this. I think everybody shines in different things.
I don't really care that the government back, cause if Trump's still in charge, I ain't fucking with that. They say the government is blue and the government is red, but ain't never been a government that rep for the black. That's why it's white in between all the stripes. In fact, even the stars all white. So we step on the flag. Psych, no cap, but we just might kneel for every single nigga who was out on the field, still trying to ball on your foot with the heel. Accolades mean that you might have skill. Outrace the pace like a man of steel until you get hit with the Achilles Achilles heel. Kryptonite strikes and you might get killed. Hypnotized mind can't define the real. Now you realize what it's like to feel broken, hopeless with no fight to wield. Synthesized time got you blinded still. This world bananas so my eyes are peeled. I got the key, I ain't got to steal. Base for free when trying to get out the field. Can't lose your sight so you climb that hill. Gots to keep moving, you can't be still. Blood in your veins ain't got no chill. Gots to get paid trying to make them meals. Till every single belly in my family filled. Until the garden is green and it's always tilled. And the river is free, so we let that spill. Dripping Aquafina, my water distilled. Nothing bothering me, I'm at the top of the hill. Only trouble is the terror on the Washington Hill. Bullshitting bottom feeding boys on the bills. All the presidents now dead but relevant still. Built a country off oppression, now we follow it still. Plantations back then but new crime bills. Transform prison yards into slavery fields. And even now it's signed by a man named Bill. Blue presidents with a reddish feel. White patriots love the NFL but never could tell how a Cherokee feel. DC White House Capitol building still be the home of the Washington Redskins. President Trump in the Oval still. Tom Brady MAGA hat fit the bill. Trump look more like a Buffalo Bill, even though we'll never see him on the field. You can Super Bowl, but you can't play me. I support Kaepernick and Jay-Z. Bumping Blueprint while I take a knee. Cause at the end of the day, yo, we still ain't free. So ain't no wall gonna stop us now. We keep moving up. You can't bring us down. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around.
I don't know, man. I don't know if they're stopping this train.
Turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around until the president's gone and the system is changed and the prison reform will free my niggas from change.
No, okay, hey. I know you won't play the whole tracks, but we got to keep it within a certain time. And we don't want to give them every track, all the whole tracks. You know what I mean? We want them to go get it. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep listening too, but.
Okay, then it's a couple. Okay, all right. I know where I'm going to stop him. I know where I'm going to stop him. All right, good. For sure.
What's up?
Yeah.
I said I got you.
Tight.
Okay, word. So somebody else go ahead and start out on that track.
Well,
so I ain't coming in every time.
Does that speed up at some point? Do you like speed up that freestyle at some point?
I think that's happening because of the glitching.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It glitched out in a way that kind of sounded cool for a second. Like it's your lyrics like sped up for a second, then slowed down. But
I know what you're talking about, Brad.
I think it was a glitch. Yeah.
It was just a Zoom. It was just a Zoom thing, remixing it for us live.
Right.
Remix.
Exclusive.
So I really like the song. I like the lyrics in it a lot. My question was, did you originally mean to title it Super Bowl Freestyle? Because it seemed like when I go through the whole record, I see a lot of it seems like every track title is consciously thought out to the songs. And then, I mean, after I listened to it, it definitely makes sense to call it that. But I was just wondering if you gave it any more thought before just calling it Super Bowl Freestyle. If you at one point were gonna call it something else, you know what I'm saying? I was just wondering personally, like Super Bowl Freestyle is like it fits the song, but with how the rest of the record was laid out, it just made me wonder if that's originally what you had meant to call it. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So I originally wrote it in the beginning of 2019. It was around February. It was like right before the Super Bowl. So like, for me, it was like I wrote it like it was mainly an inspiration when people was tripping over Kaepernick and Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of like, that was what caused me to like write those rhymes. Like people saying F Jay-Z because he trying to make a bag and do something with the NFL that's also going to be in a way pro-black and pro the people. And they trying to put him against Colin Kaepernick, who, sacrificed his position in the NFL to stand up for what he believes in. And to me, those two doing both what they didn't have to be mutually exclusive. So that was, to me, what the big thing was. Like
that's the dynamic of it.
Right. That I was thinking about. But at the end of the day, I feel like you're right. It could have been called a number of things.
Yeah.
I didn't have any other name for it.
Let's go.
I mean,
sometimes it's just like fucking Super Bowl freestyle. Goddamn, that's just what it is.
It definitely fits. I mean,
yeah,
the
100%.
lyrics,
Yeah.
It definitely makes sense and it fits. I was just curious, you know what I'm saying?
I know what he means though. It is a standout title. You know what I mean? It is a standout title when you just read it. 100%.
Well, like compared to the rest of the record, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
The rest of the record, like the song titles, they're I feel like they're
intentional.
I don't know if they're just more thought out, but I just feel like they just this one to me, the song's great. It was just the title that stood out to me where I was kind of like wondering, like, I wonder if he meant to call that something else. But now that you explain the story behind it,
you know what that is right there? That's artist questions right there.
Right.
See, everybody in here is an artist in some way. So we are artists, and so like that's some shit we be like, I don't know if I would have called it that or not. Why did he call it that? You know,
I almost wanted to ask, what would you call it? I almost want to ask even more solid name for it.
I'm curious, right?
I'm curious, like, as to what the listeners.
I think the unassuming title. I think to call it Super Bowl freestyle and then be hitting them with what you saying. I like the unassumingness of it. You know what I mean? Anonymity of it in a sense where you like, you don't know what the fuck I'm about to say. You could have been like, oh, Cam Newton throws a touchdown. John Elway, you could have done, it could have been some corny shit. Right. But no, it's not. It's on some real shit. But people don't know that by seeing the title.
Right, and then I'm about to say. I mentioned Brady. I said the Buffalo Bills. I said.
You hit it. Everything's incredible with that.
Football references in there, so I was like, we go.
But you didn't say them in a hokey way. You said them for purpose.
Right. That's the reason why it was kind of
like I said, you didn't waste the bars. You didn't, So that's why I'm trying.
No, the song's dope. My thing, Ram knows me like I'm a freestyle dude. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. So for me to put freestyle in an actual song title, for me, it throws me off because my thing coming from the era I'm from, when I'm thinking about freestyle, I'm thinking about off the top.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I do know
right.
I do know that there's multiple meanings of freestyle. If it was me, not that even matters because it's your record and it's dope altogether. But if it was me, I probably would have just called it Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like backyard freestyle or backseat freestyle, right?
It's not a freestyle either, right? It is.
It's not a freestyle.
Yeah,
and so that's what I was thinking. Like, that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to name it freestyle. I didn't want to put freestyle at the end of it because of it. Because of that idea, I think of freestyling as off the top too, but I recognize the other rappers who do tracks where they say freestyle, but they just don't mean freestyle, but they also don't mean interlude. So
it's free verse. There needs to be a new term.
Right. It's developed a subform of itself. For what a freestyle is in a song that's like, for me, it was like, this wasn't supposed to be a song on an album. This was an acapella that I did that we threw together to make a track, to make track 4. You know what I'm saying?
It turned out it's a dope track.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely.
Zach, you got something down there? Oh, you're on the bottom of my screen. I don't know where you're at on everybody else.
On the top, man. What the fuck?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I wish it was the same on everyone's.
No, man.
What's up?
I love it. I don't really have much else to say, man. It's dope. I love the beats.
That's good shit.
Last 2 beats, like the end of State of Emergency into that one. It's dope. Coming from a producer, that's mostly what I hear. Obviously it's amazing subject matter and shit, but yeah, those beats are fucking nice. I love them.
Good shit. Well, the fifth track, you just recently dropped the video of this, or is the one right before this?
Just recently dropped the video for this.
This is the recent one. Yeah. Okay. So go get this one. It's called "I Am the Dark Fruit." I am / the dark fruit / which is the new term for me.
That's
I don't know
if that was incorrect. I don't know if I just tweaked that, but hey, whatever's clever.
Oh no, I'm fucking around. That's a joke. I'm just playing around. People who know me know I'm joking around with it. But I am the dark fruit. I like this song a lot. I really like the creativeness of the video. I like the creativeness of the melodies and the flows. I just love everything about this one. We're going to talk about it afterwards. Go ahead and get into it.
Bet.
Hey. I am 25 years old. golden. I am a man, I am a mind of my own. I am a part of a clan, I am still so young. I am a free spirit, I am a lung. I am gasping for wisdom. I am my actions, I am my hobbies. I am a person, I am somebody. I am a mouth, I am my words. I am sound, I am heard. I am shining bright just like the diamond, and still a product of pride like the lion. I am not finished, I am not accidental. I am ambition, I am potential. I am black gold, I am swag. I am a road, I am my own path. I am where I go, I am where I pass. And while I am so, I am where I last. I am my own soul, that which will not pass, that which will not. Why does he grow so wrinkly and old? His heart shriveled like a raisin in the sun. Optimistic and young, his journey newly begun. Growing fresh on the vine with color shining bold. He is never to grow permanently fine. Fermented as wine, the disenfranchised.
Yeah, you probably won't find him on the under that name. That's just kind of goes by as a producer, but he's been doing a lot of other stuff. But his full name is Reginald Tedford, Reggie Tedford. As far as YouTube tip, but you will be able to find the dude who made the beat for Super Bowl Freestyle, Mambi. His beats are on Instagram or Rebel Mambi, REBEL, I think _ Mambi, MABY.
Rebel Mambi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Pick apart the passion.
He had just mentioned that the different producers, and then it made me think back real quick to that he had originally wrote the Super Bowl Freestyle as an acapella. So I guess my question is from an artist to an artist, do you write directly to the beats, or do you write before you get the beat and place it to the beat?
Both ways. It's going both ways. Lately I've been
still to this day. To this day, that's what you do.
To this day.
Yeah.
To this day, I could feel some like I got a song called "Safe Distance" that I've been singing in my head for some time now, but I don't have a beat to it. But I know this is the metronome. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I know, and I know I'm singing it to that. And when one day Jewel Black is going to be able to like produce something around that, and I'm gonna get those lyrics to him, and I'm gonna say, "What can you do about this?" Or I'm gonna hear something, and I'm gonna be like, "Okay, wait a minute," and I'm gonna start singing it to it. But then at the same time, Mambi, the other producer I was just telling you about, he been cooking up some fire over here in the home studio.
Oh, dope. Nice. Okay. Hey, that's a sneak preview right there. He shows you inside his home, people.
Inside the crib, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
And I've been writing to those. And so I like both. I like doing it both ways. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me because sorry, go ahead.
Who did the video work for this particular track?
Notion. If y'all know Notion.
Notion. Okay. Oh, okay. Dope. Okay. Dope. Notion's the homie. What up, Notion? Peace, man. Yeah, that's what's up. He just recently got into the video game a couple years ago, I believe, right? Something like that.
He's hot. He's doing it well.
Yeah.
This video was definitely a good video for that matched the song very well. I definitely I like all the visuals you put out personally.
Yeah, me too.
The thing, one question I had, this doesn't really pertain directly to the track, but so you said you came from Cali, and then you've been here for a minute now. Mm-hmm. Do you think that artistly, like your sound or
wait,
how you develop?
Did you just say artistly?
Artistically.
Yeah, I was just making sure. I'm trying to see.
You did the whole.
Hey, come on, man. That was bad. I know everybody in the chat was like, "What the fuck is artistly?"
I was thinking artist-wise. I'm gonna take it as artist-wise.
I knew it. That's my man. I gotta mess with him. Let's go. I'm sorry. Let's go. Let's keep it going.
All right. Anyway, so like, do you feel like artistically you've made your sound as an artist based on your life in Cali? Because this is the thing. When I first heard you perform, because I seen you at a Rhyme and Reason. When I first heard you perform, I knew you weren't from Wisconsin.
100%. 100%.
Like I automatically knew. Like I was like,
yeah.
Oh, he ain't from here.
First song. I knew it too. I knew he's a West Coast nigga. That's just me though, because I grew up in Arizona, so I just knew it. I'm just dead serious. I did. I was like, okay, this is interesting. But then I was like, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But it turns out, I'm just saying.
I mean, he's got his own style, and I mean, me and Ram have.
Well, there's the West Coast pronunciation that he'll know what I'm talking about with words. Sorry, but
yeah, I mean, me and Ram have had the conversations. I mean, I honestly feel like, like your vibe, your style, as an artist, I love the messages you have, and the vibe and the style of you as an artist. I personally feel like if this shit was to get into the right hands, you blow up. Like I don't even
100%.
think it would be a question. Like I think if it got in the right hands, you would instantly blow up, because this is the type of vibe that the world could feel. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like me
100%.
personally, I'm a straight rugged MC lyrical dude. Like the people that
Denku don't like nobody, bro.
the people that fuck with me are straight rugged, grimy,
100%. He's not lying.
Underground hip hop dude. Like that's my crowd, that's my audience. But you, I think you could, the whole masses with the style and of what you got going on. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? We have had that conversation. He's not lying at all. But me and Zach have had that conversation as well, and a few other people. And I got that impression from the very first time I heard you. I think the very first time I heard you, I think I was a little too excited to be like, yo, man, that shit was dope. I don't know. I don't remember, but I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? But I felt that exact same way he just said since I first heard you. And I think it's a travesty if people don't realize that as soon as they fucking hear you, because it's like, oh shit, this is very refreshing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're saying some shit, and yet I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? But not turn up. You know, same shit he said. I'm not articulating it well right now, but we got 7 more songs to get through, so we gotta stop chit chatting so much. I'll be honest. Unless you, I mean, it could be long, whatever. But I don't know what everybody's time is like. I don't care. I got all night, so
it's all good.
Play this motherfucker twice. It's up to me. But but yo, man, if you're just getting in here, we at a halfway mark almost. We about to play a song called "Help." This is K.Sankofa in the building. I got my man Denku, man Brad over there engineering. Got my man Everyday in the building. So let's get into track 6, and it is called "Help."
Somebody please help me, cause I'm losing my faith. I'm looking for the courage to finish this race. I hear you calling me, but I need your grace. Oh Lord, please help me, I'm losing my faith. Help, somebody please help. Some of my niggas out here hurting and they really need help. Feel like he living in hell, and he can't really tell that he losing his mind, and we running out of time. Keep moving, keep grinding, I'm trying to start a movement for improvement of the mind. I know life ain't fair, you wonder why should I care? I drop my knees to the ground, put my hands in the air. Bow your head, say a prayer. What if I told you that life is a dream? Glitter and gold and the shiniest things. What if I told you that I have a dream? Call me Sankofa, cause I am the king. And if I'm not, well then I am the air. Yeah, I set my hands in the air. Hands up, but don't shoot. Just know my word be the truth. Every demon I rebuke it. You can hear it in the music. Now I'm on iTunes. I bit the apple and I shoot it all, cause the homie put me on. Yeah, my nigga Nanda put me on for the cause he a goon, so I pray he stay strong. God, I'm praying for his health, and I'm hoping that he all good, cause I know we wish a nigga would. See, he from the motherland, but see me, I'm from the hood, so we both understand how we misunderstood, and that we all need help. Somebody please help. Somebody please help me, cause I'm losing my faith. I'm looking for the courage to finish this race.
You got it whenever you want.
I hear you calling me, but I need your grace. Oh Lord, please help me, I'm losing my faith. Look at the society, look at the hypocrisy, look way down below, so you know you have to acknowledge me. I fight for democracy, I fight for equality.
Yeah, that hook is legit, man. That shit kind of like elevates you to a different kind of status, I feel, as a rapper, you know, like to be able to do that brings you into that level of like the Mos Def and Akon and shit where you can rap, but yeah, you got that melody, you got some words and shit that it's hard to write a simple hook that gets to you, you know, like, and it's very good.
That's crazy because I actually was not gonna put a hook with those bars originally.
Oh shit.
I had those bars and I was just gonna do them because I was just vibing over the track so heavily that like even when I was just spitting the bars to me and just feeling the way it was bumping, it was just like I was like, I don't need a hook. And then homie who I told you executive produced.
You was feeling yourself.
Homie who executive produced, Joe Black Reggie, he was like, nah, I think we should have a hook.
Well, yo, Joe Black Reggie, good job, brother, because that hook is that made that it would have been a mistake not to do that.
Not to have a hook. It surely would have.
Yeah.
And so we worked on it.
So shout him out one more time, because that's one of them people you need in the corner. Not a yes man, but one of them people that'll tell you, like, no, you need a fucking hook.
100%. He was like, nah. We need this. We need, and he'll do that. And look, he's the JD.
We know we need the people
with a law degree, so he's gonna be.
He's definitely no bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I say it's interesting. That's the first thing you say.
Damn.
On the last one, I didn't respond as much, but it was also interesting when you guys was mentioning the duality of like a West Coast style versus the Madison style, because I submitted that music video to actually be featured with Buzz Music LA, and they asked that question. It was like, do you think that more of being over here in Watts influenced your style or being in Madison? And so I answered with some of the same stuff that y'all was saying on that last one too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Dope. All right.
It's really
so
I was just gonna say it's really soulful. I think that's the thing that's coming through for me the most, is that I can feel the soul in every track, you know. I mean, I don't know if that's a West Coast thing, but it's definitely your thing.
I can dig
I think it's a hip hop thing.
Well, like, I mean, I don't know. I do in hip hop in general, but like this, I don't know. I really hear the soul there. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think it's what I was gonna say is I think it's a hip hop thing, but I think once hip hop branched out from New York, that's when more of the soul became. So I think when you go to other regions besides New York, you're gonna get more of that soul feel. Mm-hmm. The samples came in there and all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we at track 7, Be Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. This is another video you have out.
Yeah, another video for sure.
Excellent video. No pun intended, really, actually. But
video and song are incredible, man.
Yeah. We just gonna play it, man. Your music speaks for itself. We ain't really gotta say too much. I really just want you to break down your thoughts about the songs more. So let's run it, man. You know what I mean? Let's get into it.
Black excellence, black beauty, and black pride. Black power from all diasporas coincide. Progressive truth and regression eventually collide. May the beauty of the people no longer be set aside. May the black queen's grace continually mesmerize the millions who couldn't see it when looking into her eyes. And the black man's plight no longer be the disguise. Oppression, emasculation, they wanna castricize him. Take him away from the black queen, put him inside prison for slave labor, he institutionalized. Wondering on the outside, is she willing to ride? Is she willing to ride? Is she willing to fight for the love, even despite the fact that he doing time? Love that conquers all will never fade with time. If she don't choose the love that appreciates every life, his flame might get dim and he may eventually die. Even more so, she maybe will hear a cry of a child not knowing the beauty of what's inside. The black man be continually penalized. The black child need the village to raise him right. My black queens hold it together, try not to cry. I heard Gloria say it, I know that we will survive. Said the black man be continually penalized. Black child need the village to raise him right. Black queens hold it together, try not to cry. I heard Gloria say it, I know that we will survive. I know that we will survive. I know that we will survive. Have to say it 3 times, want to re-emphasize. Look in the mirror and see the beauty in every mind. All created equal, but all don't recognize. Maybe awfully understand. I pray that you realize that they awfully say they saying what's real when it's realized. I'm in awfully understanding the truth with my real eyes. All people are beautiful, but you best know my people are beautiful. And although we know it, we still have to remind a generation of us that they always leave behind. So before they curse you out, degrade you, will come at your grind. Understand the beauty of strength and resilience in your spine. May the black queen's grace continually mesmerize. And the black gene trace
we got to keep them like in a minute, but also we also don't want to give them the whole tracks because we want them to make them go get it too. You know what I'm saying?
It's a 5-minute song though. I'm not even that.
I know. That's why I'm saying we got to keep it.
Well, a minute, that's clear. I understand a minute. Okay, a minute.
I mean, not exactly. I'm just saying let's keep it. You know,
Okay.
I don't know. I just don't want to give them too much, and then also want to keep it along, keep moving.
Got you.
Why you gotta hurt with the vibes, son? Why you gotta hurt the vibes?
Oh, my bad. I'm just trying to get.
I was gonna stop it early, but I'm just saying it's a 5-minute song. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right, well, then keep it going then. My bad. Keep it going. My bad,
no,
y'all.
we good.
You fucked that up now. You fucked that up now.
No.
Hear me.
My fault, man. I'm trying to.
Some songs are 2 minutes, so stopping it at 1 minute is half the song.
I see. Yeah. Okay. I see. Okay. All right. My bad. I'll shut the fuck up from now on. Just let it run.
I'm not tripping.
Hey, so I really like this one, especially because you use the word diaspora, and that is a fucking dope word. And I don't think I've ever heard that shit in a rap song before.
That's funny.
I love hearing new words.
Actually,
words I've heard before, but I've never heard in a rap song. It's the coolest, and that's fucking dope, man. I don't know. I'm just saying.
You know, I'm trying to think of one, man. I'm trying to think of one with diaspora. Like, I feel like it's had to have been used, but I can't think of
Bob
one
Marley.
either, man.
I feel like Wale did it.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it before. I've heard it before.
Okay.
Yeah, Wale definitely did on a couple, maybe. But still good shit to use it. I mean, it's a hard fucking word to use. Let's just be real. Linguists. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and in the context, like it's a really like
right. That's
tune.
what makes it impressive too.
Yeah.
Denku.
Did you already know what you wanted the visuals to look like for this song?
I was wondering that too. I was gonna say something.
When you had created the song.
So I had a lot of thoughts. I knew that I wanted. I have like my best friend from high school. She was the one who sort of helped me direct the video and brought her friends in to help dance. So I knew I wanted like the imagery of, like I'm saying, Black Queen a lot, and I wanted beautiful images of Black women. And if like I really wanted my homegirl to dance in it, and she brought her friends in, and I knew that I wanted good scenery. I wanted something that looked sort of historic, but I also wanted to see if I could get some Black landmarks in there. I had a lot of different thoughts, but I had some idea, and I brought that to her, and she said, okay, she lived in New York, and so I went out there to shoot the video, and so she's the one who kind of like helped me put everything together with the puzzle that I had in my head. So we kind of came up with it together. I had some thoughts. She helped bring those thoughts to life and put in a lot of her own.
Nice. Okay. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I salute to that song. I like that. I like the images of Black women that you normally don't see. You know what I'm saying? I like when people show images that you normally don't see in general. But of course, I like that. Of course, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Let's get into "Stop Me Now," which I I bumped this twice earlier because I think the first time I had heard it, I don't think I grasped what was going on, and then the second time I heard it, I was like, oh, I think I need to listen to a third time. You know what I'm saying? Like. And I know it might not be that complicated, but you know, it's just some shit. You know, you listen to one thing and not the other. You know, so but I felt like I grasped it as a whole the third time. Let's get into it. I loved it. So that means listen to it a bunch, people.
You see, I came in this world with a restlessness on my brain. I see the world through perspective we never get to explain. See, when you talking the way I'm talking, it's not for the fame. I'm trying to spark up an army and set the nation aflame. Our country claim to believe in democracy and the freedom, but they impede on our say-so cause they've been greedy for sure. See, I don't know if you believe it is a way in which you conceive it, or if you think it's too late and no reason to fight for. They label 2015 the year of the activist, y'all. Knowledge is power, but I'm wondering what happened to y'all. See, if you know where I'm from, well then you would know I'm legit. I'm reppin' Watts, California, don't get no realer than this. See, the Watts riots that cultivated a protesting people when the Watts towers that showed us that even if you come from the trash and they tryna hold you back, you can be monumental. They'll try to stop me from preaching the prophecy of the people, but you can never stop me now. You can never stop me. You can never stop me now. Can never stop me. You can only bring me up. You can't bring me down. You can't stop me now. Can never stop me. Change is gonna come around. Can never stop me. Change is gonna come around. You only bring me up. You can't tear me down. Can never stop me. Hey, hey, I internalize the battle.
Oh, dope.
You stopped it? Oh, okay.
Shit. Yeah, we were all
Look,
like,
I was grooving there.
Ram's like, why'd you stop it?
No, but that's I love
great.
that track. I like that one a lot.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think the reason when I was saying I needed to play it again, I think I was focused so much on the drops and production and shit when I was first listening to it, and then I started listening to the lyrics, which is not normal for me. Normally, I'm on lyrics, but for some reason, the way that song was, it just made me listen to everything dropping in and out and the sound of your voice and shit.
You know what I'm saying? That makes me happy because one thing that I be thinking is like, I'd be like, okay, I think I did what I needed to do lyrically, but I'm like, is the song gonna sound in a way that's gonna make, like, even if you wasn't listening to my lyrics,
that grabbed me first. That grabbed me first on that song in particular.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What's up?
Which is not normal at all for me. I was sitting there like, wait a minute, why am I just getting these lyrics the third time?
That's why the back and forth is important, because the same guy who told me I needed a hook on Help didn't want to use this beat for the project. I said, no, hold up. I said, I got something for that. It was something that I'd written 5 years ago, 7 years ago. It was a beat. He was like, I'm going to just throw this away. I said, wait. Pull that back out real quick.
No, see, it's like I told Evaridae one time, he can attest to this. I said, every beat that other people don't want, I said, and they think they're weird, I said, give them all to me. And I think we got like 5 songs off those now.
But that's why the back and forth is important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Anybody else got words to say about that song? I love that one.
It's just a groove, man.
Okay, so I originally the production didn't stand out on this track for me, and I had told Ram this earlier. But honestly, after just hearing that right now, you replay it, just that verse. Lyrically, this is a great song. The flow is very masterful on the beat. Like, just hearing it just now again, it stood out to me more. Like, your flow on it, you flexed your MC skills on this track.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. Like, and that's what I was saying. Like, it's a mystery why it took me 3 times, right?
At first, yes. At first, I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, I don't know about this song. I don't know if this song fits the vibe. But now I feel like this song should definitely be on there. This song is the difference that the album needed to do this, to like level and then, you know, go back up for the end. Like, this tied things together now that I'm re-listening to it. You know what I'm saying? It flexed your MC skills, and it's definitely a good transitional song into the rest of the album.
Well, you know what's funny about that is I agree. And now I realize why it took me 3 times. It's because the next song is my favorite song on the album.
Oh,
and so
really?
I think what was going on is I was like, oh, Levitate's coming the third time. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, so maybe I wasn't, but then it leads into this. That song leads into this.
Right.
And when I'm not shitting on any other songs, but this is the second time through, I was like, yeah, this is definitely my favorite song. Levitate, for sure. Just me. I just have it could be cadence. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't even try to analyze that shit. If I like it, I like it. You know what I'm saying?
I got that a lot, though. A lot of people
Levitate?
A lot of people.
Oh, okay.
And then,
well, maybe I need to listen more because I'm usually a different type of person. I don't want to agree with everybody. So, no, I'm playing. Well, I'm totally joking.
Hear me though. Not everybody. Not most people out here don't say levitate. On the West
Coast. Oh, interesting.
People say levitate. You know what I'm
saying? That's interesting.
Oh,
okay.
Like, so all of my people
back home, that makes sense.
Levitate. Somebody, when they'll share a song, it'll be levitate or exactly. Okay. It's that flavor. That's the flavor. But to kind of talk about what y'all was just talking about, to me, Stop Me Now goes or Be Excellent, like forever, the beauty of the people, forever or forever is on the rise, and then boom, Stop Me Now, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then after Stop Me Now, it's like, we still on the rise, so like Levitate comes right after that. Like, it's kind of, it goes from like sort of like
it's an ebb and flow of the ideas.
Stop Me Now, which is a healing kind of, and then Levitate, which is I'm on my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking my shit kind of on that.
And I was listening to that one earlier at the basketball court, shooting like free throws, and I'm sitting like literally like at 6 o'clock before this. I'm shooting free throws like, this is definitely my shit. It was the third time through, I think. Yeah.
Shooting free throws, listening to it like, I'm Steve Nash. This shit fucking
Australian white dude though. Let me ask that though. Why would I be? I can't even be Steve Curry. Man. I can't be Steve Curry. Why would I be an Australian white dude?
You're Reggie Miller.
Have you been talking to the Cypher?
Hey, keep your shit right now. He's blaming you.
He's like the greatest free throw shooter of all time.
Okay. No. That's why. Okay.
No, that's first of all, that's Ray Allen, I believe.
Oh,
I think Ray Allen has the history percentage
for free throws.
Yeah, I think he has the best history percentage ever.
That might make sense.
Shit.
But anyway, we're not gonna get into basketball. That's another podcast.
That's a different podcast.
Next month. Yeah, which we might need to do. We might need to do that.
Yeah, I don't have a sports podcast yet, so
pick apart the ball or some shit. All right, so let's get into Levitate.
Yeah, Levitate.
I told these niggas that my time is coming, so I'm ready, I won't hesitate. Practice and perfection couldn't put me in a better place. Me against the world, and the world is in second place. You could run the whole damn town while I levitate. God on first base, and first name basis, and bases loaded, now I'm up to the plate. I swing, better swing it, now they up in my face. I swing, but I swing, or whatever it takes. I by any means, like Malcolm back in the day, to live the life I wanna live, but that would be so lovely. If I go to college and I really get some knowledge, I could open a McDonald's so nobody is in charge of me, and never have to starve cause I never have to pay to eat, and live a happy life and probably die of diabetes. Damn, maybe that was not so scholarly. One bad joke in the cycle of poverty. Honestly, I see inequality hidden in your policy. Suddenly, oh so troubling that it won't work. Hourly, I'ma need paid time off and a salary. Since I've been to school and the news wanna study me. Tell me what it's like at the top, my nigga. I slipped up and fell off, my nigga, but I'm the type to win and I lost, my nigga. First full-time job was a boss, my nigga. So fuck what you heard from the herd, come again. See the passion and pain personified in a quaint precipitation. The rain supreme for my game. Pencil and pen, every prescription to benediction. Benediction is the poetry protecting my name. Please stay blessed, my nigga. Work hard, but you still need rest, my nigga. Work out if your physical is stressed, my nigga. And work out all your demons of the flesh, my nigga. It's a long, hard road, you invest, my nigga. Marathon start with a first step, my nigga. God first, California without rep, my nigga. From the West Coast to the Midwest, my nigga.
Oh, man.
You could have played that whole track right there. You could have played that whole track.
How you gonna switch it?
Hey, because it's our motherfucking podcast. We make the rules as we go. You feel me? You know what I mean? It's Pippin' one here. You too. Relax. Oh, shit. Oh, you know what's funny is I just accidentally hit my phone and accidentally played one of your songs right here. But anyway. Yeah, you heard that, huh? All right, so. Yeah, man.
I was just saying,
what does everybody else have to say about that track? I love it. I ain't got shit else to say.
I'm a big Kendrick fan. Is this like a reference to Levitate? The Kendrick song?
Not really.
Okay. It's just a phrase that I don't hear a lot, but yeah. It's I really like this tune though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the Levitate was in response. So I was writing the first 4 bars of the song. I told these niggas that my time was coming. So I'm ready. I won't hesitate. Practice and perfection couldn't put me in a better place. Me against the world, and the world is the second place. And then it was the whole damn town. And I just needed something in contrast with that. That was not, you know what I'm saying, corny, but that was also like expressing the idea that I'm moving. You know what I'm saying? That I'm on a whole nother plane, trying to do something on a whole nother plane with it. And so to me, levitate was like the perfect word. And so I literally just took those first 4 bars and put them at the end and made it the chorus too. Well, so it became levitate. Even though there was no theme of it throughout the whole thing. It was just kind of like, I feel like it's a levitating ass song. Like I'm just talking my shit kind of.
Yeah.
Talk that shit.
Absolutely, you feel it. You know, like it's one of those songs that brings you up.
Yeah, I think it's the energy that really got me, but also the lyrics. I mean, when I heard "Me Against the World" and the world's in second place, I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm not gonna lie. As a rapper, it was one of them bars. I'm like, "Fuck him." That was a good bar. Fuck
got it. He got it.
That was a good bar. Yeah, like, ooh, you said it, you motherfucker.
Hey, we all be feeling like that. We all feel
everybody thinks like that. I don't mind that because it's not a jealousy thing. I'm glad you said it. I'm just like, oh, I didn't think of that 20 years ago. What am I doing? Exactly. But I love it. That's the shit you love. That's the sport of it. You know what I mean? It's like Patrick Ewing telling Pip, like, yeah, you got that dunk on me, but I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Repeat this, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So where we at here? Oh, I just lost the list. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm sorry, guys.
I was doing all that talking about basketball. I didn't mention I got a whole basketball right here in my hand.
I mean, if you need to work on your form or something, go ahead. Do you? You know what I'm saying?
Ball?
Do you?
That's my play?
You be playing ball?
Yeah.
Oh, let this shit open up, man. I'm just playing. I mean, we got to get back to it.
Let it open up. Let's do it. Come on.
Let's go. They better not open this motherfucker.
Keep that shit closed.
Yeah. They open it up. They open up the hoop. Goddammit.
Well, actually,
all right.
They took all the rims down in Milwaukee.
Yeah, they took them down. And New York, a lot of other bigger cities, but
damn,
yeah, they ain't playing. Not in Middleton though. Good old Middleton. They were like, no, let the kids play. Yeah. It's bullshit, but fuck it, I'm taking advantage. Anybody else to part? Yeah. So I don't know what track we're on now because I just lost my list here.
Great again. Question mark.
Thank you, sirs.
Yes.
This is why I have 3 co-hosts. I'll just fuck around with y'all. Go.
Go.
Great again it is. With a question mark. With a question mark.
Yes.
Great again with a question mark.
Yes.
La da la da 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 la da 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 da. Hey, you know I need my mule and my acres. We been past due for reparations. America is still so racist. It's hard out here for a nigga. Police see me and they wanna pull the trigger. No justice in the justice system. The university allow what feel like hate speech. Blackface on white college student faces. I think it's time we had a conversation all about the history of this nation. Genocide, slavery, and oppression. They took this land from the natives, wiped out almost all the population. Reservation, not enough for reparations. Still today is people cheering for the Redskins. They brought my people over from the slave ships. Sold the family away to separate plantations. Took the mother from the motherland and raped it. Whipped us, beat us, and chained us. Any ounce of fight for freedom they would hang us. Lord, I pray that my Parrhesia lifts your name up. Cause so many people think emancipation mean we live inside a post-race nation. Not to mention Jim Crow and segregation. Economically unequal education. And modern slavery is mass incarceration. Tell me where the land of free and home of brave went. This to all the people trying to make it great again. We've been living evil since the foundation. How I'm supposed to pledge allegiance to a nation? Dear God bless the United States of America. It's still so racist.
Yeah, that shit is cold, boy. So I have a question. Do you think it was important on the shit that you're saying from that in that song? Okay, let me get a little more formal.
Yeah, work it out. Take it back, work it out.
I'm flipping you off over here because that's where your screen is. If you're over there for somebody else, I do it for them too. No, but seriously though, so a lot of melody in that song. Love it. Production, beautiful, right? Do you think it was important for what you were saying to soften what you were saying with the melody? Do you think that's important in music? And did you do that with that song purposely? Or is that automatic? Or did you just have a melody and then that's the lyrics that came? Because sometimes there are things I say where I'll be like, you know what? Let me say it in a melody, because if I say it like, kill these cops, right? It's different than like, kill these cops, right? Sounds a lot different. You know what I'm saying? Just curious.
100. No, that's actually legit. I think it's the difference between, for me, my songs, difference between a Freedom Ride and Great Again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Freedom Ride, similar themes. You know what I'm saying? We talking about slavery. We talking about the history of oppression. But y'all.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like,
exactly right.
With Freedom Ride, and it's like maybe not as digestible for a Madison audience. But at
that's
the same
word
time,
I'm talking about, digestible, right?
In Madison, who impalatable, like being digestible and palatable, it's people in Madison who still be like, oh wow, that hits hard and I like it. But I would say with Great Again, it started. I didn't intentionally do it, but when I was creating the song, I was more in a Marley vibe. I was more in you know what I'm saying? Okay. I wrote it singing. I wrote it. It was even slower.
Okay. So it was the melody first, and then
from the beginning, it was you know. I need my mule and my acres. We've been past due for reparation.
Oh man, you got to do a remix like that, man. Do acoustic remix like that.
And when I performed it live with a
with some like djembe drums or some congas or something. Or what do you mean?
I performed it with like a live band, and they kind of slowed it down, and they gave it a real
I see.
beat. And it was, you know, I need my mule, and and that's how we do it when we do it live. If I'm not doing it to the beat, but yeah, it started off me experimenting with some reggae sounds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So turned into more of a reggae hip hop, because it's not reggae, right? It's more of a hip hop.
It's an infusion, absolutely infusion.
And I still have sort of that flair in it, and I think that it hits better that way because we all are gonna get and give some of the preachy content. You know what I'm saying? And granted, us rappers is like preachers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is what we.
I was saying that because you come out straight out the gate like I want my 40 acres and a mule, like it's straight out the gate saying some shit. Right. But if you ain't paying attention, you know what I mean? If you got some people that love reggae and they on a road trip smoking weed in the car, they ain't even hear that part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I've done shows.
They're hearing it, but
I've done shows where it was only white people there, and they was just like. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But then they started listening, and it was like, oh, wow, what this shit is.
That shit happens, though. It happens a lot. It does. It happens. And then people realize I'm saying, the fucking government's trying to kill us with Hello World, and then people are like, I'm like, what the fuck I'm saying? So I get it.
Uh-huh.
What song we on now?
We are on the title song,
the titular
Parrhesia.
track.
This is my second favorite song. And it's actually juggling back and forth with my favorite. Okay. So it might be my favorite. After we hear it right now, my whole fucking attitude might change, and it might be my favorite.
You had told me that this was your favorite before we started this. I'm just letting you know. You had told me.
You just gonna throw that in public on the podcast? So you definitely saying I fucked up?
You told me that.
Okay, well, then I got two favorites. Who's gonna argue? Is K.Sankofa gonna argue? No, nigga, K had two favorites on my shit.
I'm not gonna argue. I'll argue on your behalf.
Thank you. Hercules.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get into it. Parrhesia. Yeah.
I paint a picture with the soul. Vividly descriptive with some lyrics never told. Mix it with the scriptures, hope I'm fixing up your soul. My ambition is to see all of my niggas on the throne. We royalty, right? But somehow we ain't living that royalty life. Black art, but we can't get no royalty rights. And white chalk outline that minority life. I pray somebody stand up, I know we should fight. Lord knows all we need is the warrior type. And I would do it if the people supported me right. But the media be looking for story to write. Just the same sad song, the story of life ain't never been right. You gotta read the book before you reach the conclusion. If you don't, then they've got you hooked on illusion. Blasphemy and blabbery just lead to confusion. Gotta learn the facts and decide what are you on. Which side are you on? West side is too strong, left side is so strong. No, you can't remain on the sideline for too long. If you do, it's mental suicide, now you gone. Gotta get your head inside the game before you lose them. Try to stay away from pesticide and pollution. Poison bring pleasure, that's upside when you use them. Tried to get a taste of the cider, but it's too strong. Now they got you hooked cause you didn't want to read when I told you about the book, but you told me it was too long. Wonder what it take to be considered born warrior. Fighting toward freedom for the feeling of euphoria. Seldom taking losses, never listen to employer. Feet up on the seat and probably chiefing in the foyer. Give them just a little living room. Feel like niggas born in the cemetery. Gotta dig up out the tomb, sweep the dirt up with the broom. Drive my own ambulance to the emergency room. Then surgically remove all the bullets from the burner and the tool. They ain't just taking shots, they tryna murder me too. Hands up, don't shoot, it's just me versus you and your crew. But still I'm never scared of you. What it do? This to all my rebel soldiers I salute. Tried to hold in on my pain, now I'm exploding in the booth. Where were you? I was down and then you let me down too. Don't you try to see me now if you ain't never see me through. Who are you? All my Spartans, all my niggas yell out who. Don't you take no shots at me and I won't take no shots at you. But it's cool, I'ma get my blessing, you keep doing you. Praying please forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Ain't no proof, only God can judge the words of me and you. Don't be speaking on my name if you ain't speaking with the truth.
Go ahead.
Grooving. Me and all my niggas about the movement. We don't really care about what you
turn it up there. Turn it up there.
When all of your friends might as well go ahead and kick rocks. Unless you tryna hear the kid Rocco. No, I probably meant the kid rapping. Tryna make it to the tip top. I'm about to take the game and kidnap it. Ain't nothing that you could do to stop it. I ain't even really got no options. I'ma have to be about that action. Me, I'm number one and use a fraction. You can never equal what the math is. Should've paid attention in your classes. If you did, you maybe could've passed it. Maybe even made it to a college. Graduated with the highest honor. Instead of standing in front of your honor. Pardon me, Judge Greg Mathis. Caught up in the system doing backflips. Orange jumpsuit gymnastics. Orange what they say the new black is. Prison be the school for the black kid. Actually, it's either that or pigskin passing. Wonder how I ended up rapping. Black man born on the blacklist. 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 Oh, look, it's past the time. Really wish we could just rewind. I don't even really have the time. Can somebody please pass the time? Wristwatch so you TikTok shine. Big clock, come me quick with chime. You should watch how you use your time. Cause you can't get back that time. Those niggas really doing time. Other niggas never utilize. Think twice when I'm using mine. Cause soon we'll be out of time. So me, I'm on the grind. Not just for dollar sign. One day I hope to heal your heart and elevate your mind. Till all my niggas see the top and that's the bottom line. Till all my niggas see the top and that's the bottom line.
Ooh, boy.
Parrhesia.
Yeah, I just definitely decided that's my favorite one for sure.
That's hard.
Yeah, man, that one. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I ain't really got much else to say. I'm just gonna sit over here in that vibe for a minute. Y'all gotta say what y'all gotta say.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great title track. It's a great title track.
Beautiful. No, seriously, man, that shit is. I mean, yeah, I just love it. I ain't got much else to say. I would love it.
Well, I just had one question. Why is this song in particular called Parrhesia? As far as like the meaning.
Oh, that's actually a very good question.
Meaning behind it.
That is a great question. That's actually a wonderful question.
Thank you very much.
I'll tell you why that's a wonderful question right now. I have 5 different songs I was working on with different little pieces to them, like when you hear what it do? This to all my rebel soldiers, I salute. Tried to hold it on my pain, now I'm exploding in the booth. Where were you? I was down and then you let me down too. Don't you try to see me now. You ain't never seen me. Who are you? All my Spartans, all my niggas yell out who. Don't you take no shots at me and I won't take no shots at you. Then there should be a verse after that and that should be a chorus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a whole chorus. And then in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? So that's 5 different segments, some of which was a chorus, some of which was a verse that I wrote here. Right. When I go, I paint a picture with the soul, vividly descriptive. That's like a 16 to 18 bar. And then I had another, and then oh look, it's past the time. Really wish we could just rewind. I don't even really have the time. That's a chorus to another song. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's 5 different pieces mixed together that turned out cohesive. Right? It's like when you get right, like you don't know how to finish something, and you start looking at all of your different stuff. Oh, I Am the Dark Fruit started off as 2 separate poems. Nice. I Am and the Dark Fruit. Nice. I wrote The Dark Fruit when I was in high school. I wrote I Am my first year of college, which is 2012. So I put those together as a poem. So
is that the reason for the parenthesis in the title?
That's the reason for the slash in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they start off as poems and not songs. And so for Parrhesia, these all 5 of these pieces came together for what ended up being an entire song that I just didn't know how to title. I didn't know what the expression was. And I started digging in. I said, well, the name of this tape is Parrhesia. And I'm thinking like, this song is really just me talking about how I feel in some very deep ways about how I feel about society and people standing up, how I feel about a particular instance in which something happened to me. Where, you know, my name was, you know, slandered, or where people was dragging my name through the mud. So it comes to that chorus, don't be speaking on my name if you ain't speaking with the truth.
Oh, that's interesting. Hey, hold up right there, because I like that line. There was another one in that verse. First of all, that whole first verse to me was just like, oh shit. It immediately caught me. You talked about being a warrior, but only if you got support. I forget the line, but exactly how you said
supporting me, right. But the media be looking for story to write. It said,
right, but you said I would be that warrior, but but you're not supporting me like that.
Supporting me, right, yeah.
Do you feel that way now to this day, every day? Like, is that something you constantly carry with you? Like, do you constantly feel like, look, I want to be this leader, right? I want to be in the vein of these leaders that have come before us, but I don't feel like I'm gonna get that support. I don't feel like there's a reason to be that totally, because if I am that, will you back me up? You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like that in my life at times. Like, should I do this message? Do people really give a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Am I even gonna get motherfuckers who care about me saying this? Right? Like, this is the question that I got from that song that I wanted to ask.
And I feel like that's the conscious rapper struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
that's like, you know, we want to say that we are here to champion the causes that should be elevated and should be given platform within the respect of the craft that we have, which is hip hop, which started off as a voice of the people. Well, it started off as the people uniting over music, over community, over DJs, but the MC was birthed out of struggle. The MC was birthed out of, poetry and like, talking about that. And so I think that is the eternal debate. It's like, if I keep on kicking this game, what I think I'm doing to elevate the youth or elevate the consciousness of whoever can listen or make somebody feel good and feel better about their situation, will that get elevated versus some of the material and content out here that is not necessarily in that vein?
Right.
And I guess I would say, like, I don't necessarily feel like, I need to be in that vein, but it's just the idea that, I was thinking about it like, when people do stand up, how do we perceive it and how is it supported? And then what ends up happening? That person gets shot down or that person gets slandered or that person gets like discredited in some way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like thinking about it in those different terms and seeing how I fit into that, especially with, my own calling and my own calling in music and my own calling with the work that I've done in activism and everything like that as well.
Which I want to get into. So I'm gonna back up to then go back forward. Okay. So you said your name had been slandered. I don't want you to get into that unless you want to. But I'm curious, was that, and you don't have to answer this either, was that in California or was that here or what?
That was in Madison. That was
what did that have to do with music or was it a separate thing?
It had to do with politics and social justice movements. I was involved with on campus. We We
So you
did
do
a lot
want to
of
talk about it.
organizing.
That's cool. That's okay.
Hmm?
It's okay to talk about them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
We got involved with a lot of organizing while in undergrad. I was able to, with a group of students, found the UW Blackout Movement as well as the UW Blindside campaigns. We fought for diversity demands on the campus of UW Madison, as well as throughout UW system schools, 26 UW system schools, with United Council of UW Students, which is a statewide student union between all the 26 UWs. We fought for some diversity demands. We got some major things accomplished. We got a cultural competency program passed at UW. We got a Black Cultural Center. We got $1.2 million reallocated for mental health resources for students of color. A statewide task force created to analyze the issues of underrepresented students and enact change on their behalf, as well as public admission of fault from the UW systems president. 26,
wow. So when you say
schools.
Public, what was public? A public statement, newspaper? I mean, how did they do that?
He released a statement. It was a letter, and it was a press release that basically was addressing the UW blackout movement and what we were doing and what we asked. It was one of our demands that you admit that you have failed and apologize. That was the first demand, is that you admit that we have failed to address the issues for students of color and to apologize on that behalf. I don't think it was a formal. I don't think he apologized, but he did write the letter addressing our concerns. So we counted
it's a step, right?
We counted it as a check, and then they created a task force. They dropped the $1.2 million for students of color for mental health resources. They created a cultural competency course. The one thing that they didn't give us was removal of standardized testing for admissions, which we know does not necessarily or does not at all reflect academic performance rates when kids matriculate into college. It only reflects whether your school had Kaplan test programs or whether your parents had the money to put you in a test program for you to do better on the SAT, to learn arbitrary knowledge that reflect your status as a citizen rather than your cognizance or ability in intellect. But that movement led us into the blind side, which we ran. We ended up getting 20 out of 30 seats in student government. And that was actually pretty big because ASM, the student government at UW Madison, is actually responsible for $45 million in student segregated fees. So our plan was to reallocate money for social justice and for students of color. Really, we were focused on $1.9 million that was in a reserve budget to re-establish the United Council of UW Students, as well as the Multicultural Student Coalition, to continue to lobby on behalf of students. And the incumbent student government members, and I think in collusion with some of the professional staff and maybe some UW administration, they linked up and held a press conference with the Badger Herald, accusing me of sexual assault. And so that went viral throughout the school for a few hours before the article was retracted. But by the time
a few hours online, though.
Huh?
For a few hours online, like internet news,
so
like
it went viral.
So that might as well be that might as well be weeks, man.
It may as well be weeks in the digital.
I mean, in internet time,
digital era, but it was retracted. Fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And
retracted the same way it was reported, or did they backhand the retractment? Was it retracted like back page, 6 page as opposed to first page? Like, you know what I'm saying? That kind of news thing, or
no, the entire article was taken down and they dropped a new article that didn't have my name in it at all, that said that there was some sort. It was a completely different article.
Wow.
The first article's title was "Prominent Student Activist Accused of Sexual Assault," and then the first sentence said Kenneth Cole. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then my name was in the article like 9 times. You know what I'm saying? I had been in other articles at that point, but my name wasn't mentioned that much. But then they took that article completely because the fact of the matter was like,
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The fact of the matter is like, there was no actual formal accusation of anything against me. It was just
no legal action whatsoever.
It was no legal action, not even a report to the school. Like generally,
and see that should be illegal and be able to be penalized. If you should not be able to report something if it's not illegal. If you don't have any proof, if there's no legal action, especially sexual assault.
At least report it to the school. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, or I mean, even a fucking dorm. I mean, like, I'm exaggerating. You know what I'm saying?
RA, you know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly, right.
But they just, but it took me some time to really like say, okay, I see what this political world is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, like I'm 20. I'm a 20-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Student activist.
Did you have an interest in politics at the time?
Well, I would say certainly. Like we were running for student government. Like we were making all of these social, political, activist moves. But granted, realistically, I feel like I was an activist who got caught up in the world of politics.
Yeah, right.
So
Victim. Yeah.
Took us to run for student government and to try to make some changes over there. And running for student government is clearly that's clearly politics.
Well, 100%. Yeah. I was saying after college, I didn't know if you had political aspirations, you know, or if it was a college thing for credit. You never know.
Maybe it was in my thoughts.
You didn't know, but that was definitely a sour taste to begin with, right? Like shit.
Right. I was planning on going to law school and doing something. I would have made it. I still could. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
At the end of the day, like,
that's what I was gonna say. Let's switch gears. You won an award this past year in 2019. Is that right? For your work with the community.
Yeah. So
was it for the exact thing?
Well, they when they awarded it to me, they mentioned some of the work at UW, and they also mentioned some of the work post UW.
Oh, well, that's redemption. Hey, you know what I mean? But right, somewhat.
I would say so.
Because you were recognized by the state or the city. Am I correct?
By the city.
Explain that whole thing. I don't want to speculate. You explain it and let people know. Please.
So it was the City of Madison and Dane County MLK Humanitarian Award.
There you go.
And I was nominated for it, and I actually received it this year, January 20th.
What's up, man? Congrats again on that, by the way.
Thank you. And it was they cited some of the work that we've done with the Boys and Girls Club and MNCR and Urban League and the Wisconsin Leadership Development Project, who was a group that we were organizing with when we were doing those student campaigns as well, who I've been organizing with all the way since then in 2016 when all of that stuff went down. But then they also mentioned the Blackout movement, the Blindside movement, and the work that we did on campus as well. So for me, that was a very much so vindication of like what I'm really about. Like, my efforts that we were doing, I was like, I wasn't, y'all think I'm just out here putting my neck on the line just because, you know what I'm saying? Oh, but also they think I'm out here wilding, right? You think I'm out here wilding. Like, and I'm like, like, for me, that's like, that hurts. Like, and it's like, what do you say? What can you say?
Well, it's I'll be honest, and I'm going to say this, I'm not into giving a fuck who thinks about what, who watches this podcast. In all honesty, what it comes down to is plenty of fucking evidence throughout history that when Black men make change, they figure out ways to victimize or make us put a dark light upon us so that we aren't credited for the change we've made. It doesn't matter if it's at a local level or international level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As soon as you start to make change, it's easy for somebody to be like, sexual assault. And of course, people are going to believe it because you're a Black male in America. And that's what pisses me off about this part, than what you're saying right now. You know what I'm saying?
Immediately. People believed it immediately. Like,
and that's what's unfortunate about it, is that then to give you an award, it's like, it's almost like the award is a slap in the face in a sense. Right? It's, am I saying that wrong? Like, it's like, thank you, but fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
No, but
I'm going to say that. You ain't got to say it. You know what I'm saying?
In a way, but I'm glad that a lot of times we see where the award is gotten after a person is dead. Now, granted,
so they gave you the flowers.
I don't feel like I've done so much to where, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, even getting the award was like, I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's great. I'm cynical. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying?
In my eyes, I'm like, damn, do I even deserve this, right? But I'm saying also.
So you were humble. You were humble.
For individuals who do deserve it, they usually don't get those roses until they're dead. Like the United States didn't appreciate MLK until they killed him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're giving out awards in his name, but when he was alive, people were shitting on his name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, I'm glad I'm.
That's 100%. That's real shit.
That I can hear some of the accolade amid the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Whereas he got all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then died.
Right.
You know,
All right,
not to like try to liken it unto that, but you know.
Let's get into this last song, yo. I'm anxious now.
We're gonna get into this last song, and that actually
it's appropriate.
It's the perfect preface.
Good. Hey, hit the big words. Parrhesia, preface. No, fuck around. I'm playing. Preface is 2 syllables. I'm good. I knew that in 3rd grade. I'm good. I'm fucking around.
I mean, he went to UW, you know.
I'm trying to lighten the mood again. Hey. Let's go.
Now listen.
Everybody got a voice, everybody got a vote. If they tryna take yours, then you gotta let them know. If you standing on the sideline, what you standing for? I don't stand up for my pride, I stand up for all my bros. And my ladies by my side, I'd be nothing without you.
Once you stood by.
Said I'd be nothing without you. Yeah. Wanna know what give me hope when I see my niggas afloat? I see God up on the waters walking, wishing he would show me all the things that I don't know. Why they put us in them chains? Why they bring us on that boat? Will we ever make a change? Will it be the status quo? Will I ever make a wave? Will my riverbank flow? If I try to surf the tide, will I sink to the floor? Back when I was getting high, I was really living low. See my niggas really down, out of them been selling dope. So I'm reading King James, trying to memorize a course about your head and let us pray. Then lift your glass and make a toast. Cause if we talking LBJ, well then you know that be the goal. Gotta represent the West, cause you know that be the coast. Oh no, I'm in Madison now. Still California love that I'm passing around. 6 years undergrad, but a graduate now. So I walk cross stage like I'm running the town. Only God know the one thing holding me down. 1 class left, 99 classes are down. 3 credits, but my scholarship turning me down. No tuition, see the math, so I'm working it out. Got a job bartending at a nice hotel. Missed 1 training shifts and they throwing me out. Get hired, then fired, so I'm back on the ground. But the moment I was lost, I was finally found. Phone buzzing next week, God turned it around. Cause the Boys and Girls Club wanna hide me now. They gave your boy away to pay for rest of education. So if this my last chance, then you know I gotta take it. After every class taken, 1 passion was found. And so now I activate like an activist now. And let the words levitate with the magical sound. We take a bad situation and we flipped it around. So if you looking for that real, then this is what it sound like. Hands up high till we all touch cloud 9. Now we at the table, everybody gather round. I'm serving food for thought, so grab a plate and get your sound. Everybody got a voice, everybody got a vote. If they tryna take yours, then you gotta let them know. If you standing on the sideline, what you standing for? I stand up for my pride, I stand up for all my bros. And my ladies by my side, I'd be nothing without you. Said I'd be nothing without you. Yeah. Been through a lot, thank God for the family. Shout out to the homies and everybody who had me. Niggas on Facebook talking real raspy. If we ain't friends, nigga, please don't add me. If we got beef, nigga, please don't add me. You could come see me, I know that she see me. I see that she on me, now she tryna grab me. So I hesitate, I ain't wanna move too fastly. I know that the devil tryna drag me underwater. Calling for the Holy Spirit, praying to the Father. If my life an open book, I know he be the author. I'ma need some guidance if I see another plot twist.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. The album's incredible, man. You got anything to say about that last track? I could hear the things after you explaining the things in that track. Now I could hear the things that related to it. Then you know what I mean?
Yeah, and mainly
that incredible.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I said mainly in that little outro part too.
Yeah. Incredible album, man. I'm really glad you did this. Any projects in the future you want to do this with again? I'd love to have you back in the future. Anybody else got some words to say? I appreciate you. We can sit here and chop it up too. We ain't got to go. I'm just saying. Great album. Appreciate you. This is Pick Apart the Passion Pack. Pick Apart the Passion Podcast. Before we go out, I'm gonna do an outro and shit, but I just want to say that, man. It was an incredible album.
Yeah. Was it your decision or the producer to end it that way with like just the vocals? Was that just vocals at the end?
No, it was the beat as well.
Oh, there's a little bit of beat.
There's a
Okay,
ride
okay.
out.
I mostly hear the in the headphones. I could hear mostly the vocals in the end, but like yeah, it was that your like choice on like the how to end things or the producer?
Well, the beat just kind of started mellowing down.
Okay.
And so I think
Okay.
it was something that kind of worked just perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you pretty much go with the length of the beats that were given to you, or did you shorten or make longer? You know, like were they given to you in a final form, you know, or did you guys build upon those beats?
Some beats were final form, but you take a song like State of Emergency, or even I think The Question, he sent it to me and I said, oh, I already have something that's perfect that I already wrote. Give me 8 more bars.
Yeah,
or you take State of Emergency, I write to it originally, and then me and the producer are sitting down and we're like, I like it. And I'm like, yeah, but I probably could come a little harder. And he's like, yeah, you could definitely come a little harder. I think you should go back. And so then I go back and I write, you know what I'm saying? And so now it's like, okay, I scratched this, but I added 32 more, or I added.
So
60.
he's got to switch some shit to beat, right? Arrangements.
Some beats I definitely had to have him extend. Yeah. And the other beats, it was like, okay, it just worked.
So like for example, for that last one, for example, that one just kind of faded
the way
out.
it ended. Yeah.
That
worked.
It kind of just worked. Or let me think.
I'm a fan of that. I love writing to the skeleton to Peter.
Oh no, I wrote to that beat. I wrote to that beat. I wrote to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It ends perfectly like you did. You know. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I think the album's great. Since we listened to the entire album or pieces of it, my actual ending question, I wanted to know, since you had mentioned earlier, this song's from 2018. You had also mentioned that there was a poem. There was 2 poems, and they created that.
And the Dark Fruit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they created that song, and you said one of them was from high school, one of them was from when you started in Madison. My question is, how long do you think this album was in process to create?
Yeah, because technically that's a long time, right? Yeah.
Technically, that's at least 9 years or 8 or 10 years when you consider the Dark Fruit. One of them was in high school, right? So if we just go back to the first verse of the Dark Fruit, which is I am, it started off, I am 18 years old.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I am a mind of my own. And now I'm 26.
Wow.
So
see, that's funny because I could say that and I might not be 18.
Right. So
you was literally fucking 18.
I recorded I am 25 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I recorded I'm 25, but on the paper I can grab the paper right now from the journal that I ripped out from the class that I was taking that I wrote that for. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. What class?
It was counseling psych 2.
Yo, fucking remember. No,
it was a filler class. It was like a filler class that we had to take for our scholarship, where we had to meet with a mentor in our scholarship cohort every week, and we had to keep a journal. And you could write whatever you want in the journal. So I said bars. You know what I'm saying?
Bars, right? That's easy, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm already writing that anyway, right?
I'm gonna do me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay. But and then let me think. Be Excellent. I wrote that. Probably around the same time, a long time ago.
Not high school.
I think, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because like
you hold up. You wrote Be Excellent in high school.
I have a whole tape that I have to release where all of the material is pretty much stuff that I wrote in high school. That's longer. Like you said, how long has this one been done? How long has this one taken? No Purpose, the album, it's taking even longer. You know what I'm saying?
So hold up. So you have another album that this album was basically done in between of. Like you started an album that technically will be longer than this one to do. And this album got done, and you still have an album called No Purpose that you're working on.
I finished. The writing is done. The writing has been done for a while. I actually recorded it for a project in my sophomore year of high school in ILS 275 was a class called Remix and Appropriation. He allowed us to do whatever we wanted for our final. So I said, bet, I'm making an album.
So let's get this straight. Let's go back to this. You wrote Be Excellent in fucking high school, nigga. What the fuck? Yeah. And let's tell the people, you 25, correct?
Huh?
You 25.
I'm 26 now. I recorded in the dark.
Excuse me.
I'd rather be 25, man. Take the year off. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you. People be like, "Oh, you 42?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're all 42 of my years. All
I'd rather be 41,
I made it.
42.
I made it, yo. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, save a couple off. I'm like, give me 3 back so I can use those to continue this artist grind. You feel me?
Yeah. No, that's incredible, man. That's an incredible song to be writing in high school.
Either high school or I think it was for sure high school because I remember.
It doesn't matter. It was years ago. It wasn't recent.
Right. I can visualize being at the desk at my parents' crib on 28th Street. So, and I know that was when I was in high school, but I don't know.
Wait, 28th Street where?
In LA. But it's like, was I back home for a summer break? I don't think so. It's like, I think I was just in high school when I wrote
Interesting. So your parents had a desk in their crib? Like, so like, and I'm not saying this in a weird way. I'm saying like, I'm prefacing to say, may I ask, what did your parents do? Like, what, were they educators or anything, or scholars?
It was actually a old computer desk that was in my room. So it was an old computer desk that was in me and my brother's room. That we didn't have no computer on, so I was writing on it.
Okay. So where does besides growing up in Watts, I was gonna get to this question, and I'm glad we saved it for the end actually, because this can lead into a long conversation possibly, and that's okay. So growing up in Watts, okay. You are 26 years old, which means you were born in 94?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very shortly after the Watts riots, right? Right. I'm 42, so I don't know how your parents are, what they do, any of that. If you want to explain that, cool. But in Watts, explain being a small kid, late 90s, very small, and then going into the early 2000s. Was there still an effect in Watts in terms of the riots? And does that affect your music that you're doing now that you wrote then? Because if you were in high school, the shit you writing in high school, writing that, it had to have some effect, right? Like, is that something that still affects your music now even? You know what I'm saying? Talk about that.
Certainly. So,
because my pops lived in Watts when I was about 17. I want to preface this. In 95, my pops lived in Watts. So I have a little tiny perspective on that, but.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, certainly. I would say, so first and foremost, my mom is a nurse. When I was growing up, she worked at Fry's Electronic. It's like
okay. Yeah, I remember Fry's Electronics. I bought Machiavelli and the 112's album there.
Right. Mm-hmm. So she was a retailer there. She had like a retail job. And my dad, he bounced back and forth with a lot of jobs as I was growing up.
Sure.
But he's always been a preacher, and now he's a pastor.
Okay.
And first lady of the church.
That's where your oratory skills come from.
Wait, you're
orating skills from.
You're a PK?
Yeah.
I'm a PK.
Hey, see that?
Yeah, my dad's a Methodist pastor.
Wait. Did I miss something? What the fuck is a PK?
It's a
preacher's kid or a
preacher's kid. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely ain't a fucking preacher's kid. I know that
shit. PK's all around the world, no?
Oh yeah.
Yo, that's wild.
We all know
that's wild because my uncle is a pastor. And so my cousins probably know that shit. I'm about to ask them about that shit.
No,
they probably be like, yo, hey, PKs. Hey, what about PKs?
Oh, yeah, we all know the term PK, man. Yeah,
that's crazy. I never heard that in my life.
Yeah, I never heard that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're a rare breed.
Yeah. Y'all gonna meet up on weekends and shit or what?
Oh, hell yeah.
No,
we got a group. Yeah, you know.
You're like, I knew you.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, go ahead. Explain that still. Sorry.
Yeah, and so as far as in terms of like effect on me, I didn't really as a kid, it wasn't something that I was thinking about. I was going to elementary school and living my life and not paying bills and living just living in an environment. You know what I'm saying? It's just a normal environment to playing kickball. Watching your homies get in fights, trying to avoid getting in fights.
Getting your bike stolen. The good shit.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But me, I was trying to stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? My people always had us like in the books. Like you might be at the most hood, Look, I went to Charles Drew Middle School, which had 3,000 students. We would have riots on our PE
I remember them
field.
days.
Literally, this was back when the Latinos.
I remember them days, bro. I almost got jumped by a bunch of Latinos. Luckily, I didn't get rolled up on. But anyway,
one of the Latino homies at my school, we was playing marbles, and I was whooping his shit. And I was, you hit their marble, you take their marble.
Wait, y'all play marbles? Yeah. You talking like you 42, my nigga? What the fuck?
I was setting marbles up. I think I took a cookie and a Steely. And
oh shit!
And he was.
I could have went to LA and ran marbles.
Look, I would run them corners.
Shit, corners too.
Me and my brother's lunch money off the corner.
Man, that's funny because I had a homie when I was 16 from Queens teach me CeeLo. I thought I was the shit. I was like, hey, 3 dice. That part. Anyway.
Yeah, you know.
So that didn't affect you as a small kid, but I have to ask: was it something that people older than you constantly brought up? Did it still affect the community? Was it something that affects music now?
People mention it, and then after you grow up with, like, when you get to middle school and even some parts of elementary school, they teach that local history. They teach about the riots.
Oh, do they?
Learn about the riots. You're not gonna grow up.
Okay.
Not know about the riots. So my family.
That's not normal in America, my dude. So sorry if my face looks super surprised. That's not normal in America at all.
Right. No.
you know what I'm saying?
Necessarily talk about it, but that's real
wild.
Culture. That's real local history there. So
yeah.
You know, you're gonna hear it. I heard my aunties talking about it. I heard my family talking about it, and it's definitely something that has cast an overarching.
It's an umbrella
image or an overarching culture.
Yeah.
Over the city, like people definitely feel that and they know that, and you walk through Watts and think about it, and you recognize after you come to age, and so it became a heavy part of my consciousness. When you listen to "Stop Me Now,"
right.
the Watts riots had cultivated a protest.
Yeah, your line might inspire my question. I'm not
even
sure.
Even if you come from the trash and they're trying to hold you back, you can be.
Yeah.
Right. And so
talk that shit.
It definitely inspires my music. And when I think about it more heavily, I went to school. So my elementary school and my middle school was in Watson. The church that I grew up with that I still go back
to. Fuck your camera, Zach, by the way. I see your camera in the shot. Sorry, hold up. Zach, get your camera out the shot. You're really interrupting this podcast right now. I'm just playing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Parents pastor at is in Watts, and the elementary school and middle school that I went to is in Watts. So like we're deeply, you know what I'm saying? And the first house that I remember growing up in was in Watts. And so it's a deep root to, you know.
A lot of history there. A lot of jazz history.
Yeah. And
a lot of music history.
I place my identity. So that jazz, even as far back as, I don't know if you know the Watts Prophets, they were.
I've heard the spoken word group, right?
Spoken word group, the original poetry and hip hop, if you will, from Watts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's a heavy influence, something that I take personally, that I feel like I have to be a student of if I'm gonna be from that area and if I'm gonna be claiming that I'm from that area. But granted, like the roots are there, like being that was my first house I lived in, that's the church I still go to today, and that's the elementary school and middle school I went to.
Okay.
Even more importantly, I first started writing for real at Charles Drew Middle School with the homie Adrian. And
shout out to your boy.
We had a group that I don't think I recognized the visionary of Adrian up until 2 weeks ago, because I was.
Do you still talk to him? You still?
Well, we still. Anytime I can get in contact with him, but we haven't been in contact for a minute. But when I go back, I'm going back home next week. Actually.
How often do you get back?
I try to get back at least twice a year. This year I was supposed to get back like 5 times. My cousin was getting married. My brother was getting married. I was definitely planning on going to Christmas.
Wow.
And maybe Thanksgiving.
I got this homie named COVID. He fucked all that up, bro.
But you know what? I can still go because I already went for my cousin's wedding. Even though, like, look, I had to watch my cousin get married on Zoom. There are
that sucks. Shit.
Oh, wow.
But, you know, she did her thing. Look, I ain't even mad.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
luckily they were still able to get married and everybody's healthy, really.
Exactly. You know? So, if it ain't gonna hold you back, then I'm not gonna let it stop. You know, me from supporting you or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So,
But my homie Adrian, who goes by the rap name AR Caliber, I was listening.
That's a dope name.
I was listening to his music, and I was just like reminiscing. When I grew up, we were in a rap group. So I've been rapping for a long time, even though I say that I just started really putting myself out there trying to do this shit professionally.
When's the first time you recorded and heard yourself back? That's what I always say. But the first time any rapper records and then hears themselves back and can make a decision on how they sound, that's when I feel like your career starts. That's me personally, though.
It was in between 7th or 9th grade. We was recording in Adrian's closet on 94th and McKinley in You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? I recorded my first songs in Watts.
Hey, well, shout out to the boy agent if you see this, man. You helping your boy out because.
But listen, that's all subset. The main point is we were in a group. We founded a group called Epic City, and it was ECBB. You know what the BB stands for?
No. I think you just froze.
Epic City Burning Buildings.
Ooh.
And he had a pledge. I pledge allegiance to the
That's
arsonist.
That's hard.
I pledge allegiance to the arsonist. And
I pledge allegiance to the arsonist.
Yeah.
And to Epic City and to the arsonist. I pledge allegiance to Epic
Wait,
City.
wasn't the arsonist? Wait. Was the arsonist a group back in the day?
I'm not sure. We're talking about the Watts riots and people burning.
I know. I just thought of that. That was my own mind. My mind goes around different directions.
Buildings, and we were in middle school, and he named the group Epic City Burning Buildings.
That's wild.
He was clearly talking to Watts. I did not see.
You didn't understand.
I did not see.
Did he have a militant pops? Did he have like one of them like Black Panther pops?
He didn't have no pops.
Oh, okay. Well, forgive me for assuming. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He could have had like a Furious Styles type pops to where he had that mentality. That's more likely than anything, really.
Well, he did have a pops, but he wasn't really in contact with his pops. When I went over his mom and him and his brother.
And they was just on that shit or what?
No, he was a business, so he was different. He was different than a lot of the homies that I knew. He was to himself. We was in homeroom and he was writing. I was like, bro, you were doing homework? This is homeroom. We don't have anything to do right now. He was like, no, this is a 16.
I heard the fucking homework, nigga.
He said, this is a 16. I said, what's a 16?
Oh, shit. Boom.
That's how it happened.
Shout out to Adrian.
Wow.
That's how it
Shout out to Adrian.
Dead ass.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Like,
that's wild.
And she was our math teacher, but we had her for homeroom, and he was up in there. I'm like, bro, you doing math right now? Everybody chilling, talking, joking. He over
yeah.
I'm like, is this some homework I forgot to do?
Yeah.
Like, he said, no, this is 16. He challenged me. He said, I was like, what's this? He said 16 bars. He was like, in a rap song. He's like, right. He's like, you could write one too. Da da da. So I pulled up to the table. We was filling up composition notebooks. You know what I'm saying?
Had you even thought about rapping before that, or what?
One time before that, with my cousins in a room.
How old are you when you had that conversation? And then how old are you when you said you rapped at one time?
That was 7th grade, so it had to be 12, 11, or 13 or some shit like that.
Okay.
7th grade. And then the time before that, it was elementary school, so I might have been 10 or 11.
That's interesting. The reason I asked that specifically,
and I still remember the rap.
Okay, so that's funny. So the reason I asked that specifically, not trying to bring it back on myself too much, but the funny thing is, I wrote one rap before I actually started rapping, right? And I spit it to my brother who was already like popular in the city and shit, right? I'm like 14, I think. And I was a bar, I played basketball. So it was like, I'm not Isaiah, but I'll amaze you, leave you in shambles with my handles. I'm a Mike Vandal. I mean, just some corny shit, right?
Look, some of the stuff that we was
That's not bad at 14 though, right?
A lot of it is hot. A lot of it is hot. A lot of it is we put it on wax. It's not as corny as we think it is in our head.
Right. So then I didn't write another rhyme again until I think I was like 18, and then I actually started to go, you know. But that's why I was curious the time frame, because it's interesting. You write that first rhyme, and you're like, you know, whatever. But then you're like, wait a minute. God damn it. Yeah. What about you, Denku? When you write your first rhyme? Probably like fucking 3.5 or some crazy dumb shit, huh?
Well, if you know,
he was freestyling in the womb, like, open it up, bitch. I'm trying to get out.
If you know me, I didn't start out writing. I started out freestyling.
I know you did, motherfucker. That's why I'm asking the goddamn question. So explain the question. You ain't talking to me. You talking to the America. Don't make me pull a Bernie like, listen, America.
I probably didn't actually start writing shit down until probably like
3 years ago.
It's probably like 15, 16, but I was freestyling since I was like.
You froze.
Did he freeze?
So 0. I told you it was 0, goddamn it.
Oh, God. That's the worst.
I told y'all it was 0.
That's the worst fucking time to freeze.
You froze, bro.
Yeah. I did freeze.
Yeah, since when? Since when? First time you wrote something down.
Why is it freezing right now?
I don't know, man. It just froze right as you were about to.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm laughing so much I'm sweating, yo. I ain't even drunk like that. I drank like 4 beers. Hey, y'all know me. Anyway.
How old?
But it's a good podcast, man. I'm glad we did this shit. I have a outro thing that I want to do every podcast to outro the podcast. And I might just record it and send it to them if y'all feeling it. And so I was going to show y'all and see if y'all feeling it.
Yeah.
Don't embarrass me in front of the guests either.
No. I wouldn't do
I don't think we can do that.
But Pete, I don't give a fuck. But Pete, I'm going to go like this to outro it. And you can even record this and then keep it. I don't know. But it's basically how we'll outro it. And we can keep talking, whatever. But
yeah,
it'd be all right. So thank you for watching Pick Apart the Passion podcast. Remember to pick apart the passion. Never let the passion pick you apart. And remember, it's always easy to pull people up rather than, it's always, okay. Pick apart fuck you, Denku. I knew Denku was going to laugh. You always fuck me up because you laugh. All right, let's start over. Wait a minute. Thank you for watching Pick Apart the Passion podcast. It's RamBunxious. Thank you, everybody that's involved today's K.Sankofa. Pick apart the passion. Never let the passion pick you apart. And remember, it's easy to lift people up instead of pull them up when they're already down. Peace.
Tight.
What do y'all think?
That's dope.
Yeah.
I like it. It's dope.
And then I was also going to do one more thing after that, which I'm still going to send you the audio and have you just do it. I think it's audio, and not have it say it every time. Maybe say it every time. We'll figure that out. But I want to do a thing where I say RIP Combat Jack every episode because I would have never done this podcast shit if it wasn't for Combat Jack watching him first and he passed the colon cancer and shit. So I really want to shout him out every episode and just do that statement and then say RIP Combat Jack. Boom, we out.
Yeah.
Are y'all cool with that?
Live every time.
I should say it live every time, huh?
Good morning.
All right, re-record. We're going to start right now and we're going to re-record it. Oh, wait, what'd you say?
Good morning. This is DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee. We are the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying?
Or I could just be like, good morning, millionaire.
Hit him with that line.
All right, no, seriously though, then record this then, Brad. Record this. I'm going to do it for real.
Oh, yeah, I'm recording all.
Tell me when I'm in the camera. Is this in the camera?
It's all recording. I never stopped. We good.
All right.
Oh, my God.
So you always be fucking me up, man. You always got something to say.
It says recording in the top.
Thank you for watching Pick Apart the Passion podcast. Pick apart the passion. Never let the passion pick you apart. And remember, it's easy to pull people up. Fuck, I keep fucking it up. Pick Apart the Passion podcast. Thank you for watching. Remember to pick apart the passion. Never let the passion pick you apart. And remember, it's easy to lift people up than pull people up when they're already down. Rest in peace, Combat Jack.
Yeah. There it is. We got
Dope.
it. Awesome.
Do you really think so? Because your body language says otherwise, bitch.
Who, me?
Hey, no, it's dope, man.
We off air now, sucker. We off air now. What you want to do?
No, I mean,
What you
it reminded me a little bit of Peter Pick the Peppers. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
I thought you was about to say something like Nick Cannon or some shit. I was about to fucking woo, America.
Don't remind me of more than anybody though. Button.
Oh, good. That's my spirit animal. That's my nigga right there. I love Joe Budden.
Yeah.
I literally made a Facebook post that said Joe Budden is my spirit animal. I fuck with him. We have the exact same opinions about everything. And it's basically fuck you if you don't like what I say.
Yeah, Joe Budden is your spirit animal. That's fact.
I fuck with that nigga. I do.
Hell yeah.
You know what's funny is my brother met him, and me and my brother have very. Oh, you recording? Oh, turn this off.
Okay, all right.
This ain't going in the podcast.
All right, hold on.
I'm playing. I'm joking.
Hold on.
So I'm joking. Keep it going. So me and my brother are very opposite, right? He's a Pisces, I'm an Aries. We just opposite, right? And he met Joe Budden one time, and he's like, "Yeah, that nigga remind me of you. He's a fucking asshole." And I was like, "Yeah." But me and my brother like that. We fucking butt heads.
Yeah.
Because he's real chill, real analytical, real like, well, what you don't know is the only thing you know is what you don't know. That type of motherfucker. And I'm like, look, motherfucker, I know what the fuck I'm saying. You know, we just different. I'm real like, this is what the fuck I'm saying. And he's real like, well, let's analyze both sides. Maybe fuck that shit, nigga. You know, that's how it is. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Word.
For real.
All right,
Denku, you need to go to sleep, nigga. You look tired, man.
I am tired. I'm going to get out, man.
All right.
No, thank you, man. Hey, K.Sakofa, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Man,
Thank you so much.
Most of this last shit
Seriously.
probably won't be on the podcast. We'll probably end it way before this.
Yeah, there'll be some editing. We'll see.
Yeah, he's like, look, Brad's like, yeah, you guys just gave me a lot of work.
Oh,
Very
I
dope.
got some
Very dope album,
timestamps.
man.
You
Very
good?
dope album.
Yes, very dope. Very dope.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. me
I
too.
literally bumped it 4 times in the last 48 hours. So
Pick apart the passion, passion. Passion.
Pick Apart the Passion is RamBunxious, Evaridae, and Taiyamo Denku. Check out their music on Spotify and Bandcamp, or message us at RamBunxious Music on Facebook to let us know what artist you want us to pick apart next.
Passion. Pick apart the passion.
This has been a Revolver Audio production. Executive producer Brad LeBaron. For more podcasts, visit soundcloud.com/revolveraudio, or to support new content, visit ko-fi.com/revolveraudio. Revolver.